Hello everyone and welcome to another MAGA cope stream. I guess is kind of part of Chud Watch. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. We are looking at more weirdness today. Let me go ahead and fix some stuff. And I also wanted to add an emote wall because I forgot I had this. And I forgot I didn't set it up when I changed to my new stuff. So let me add this real quick so emotes will appear on the screen. Put it all the way down here. Perfect. Now emotes should appear on the screen when you use them. So that's good. That seems appropriate. That'll get people involved. How's it going, everyone? It is the final day of costume month. Excuse the haphazard put-togetherness. I had a big wedding yesterday. Was there like all day, helped set it up. I am exhausted. Which, by the way, we're gonna do the patron-only stream today, or a patron-only stream today. I am exhausted from the wedding still, so unfortunately I will have to reschedule that till tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening will be the next patron-only live show. I apologize. I would do it if I could. I don't want to, like, give you a subpar performance, though. And I know if after this stream I went and did another stream, I would just be so tired, it would not be fun to watch. So I want to make sure the patron-only stream's fun, so that'll be tomorrow. This is the last day of costume month, so if you want to get the next costume month going, use the tip link. If you want to support the show, bits, super chats, subscriptions, and memberships all help. All right, with my little colloquy out of the way, let's go ahead and get into it. You want to see something embarrassing? Let's look at something a little bit embarrassing. Let's see. I enjoy terrible MAGA raps. It's a particular interest of mine. I don't know why. It's just an interesting subgenre. And now they're coming with music videos, with AI-generated music videos. So prepare for the horror of that. Ashley OneUp says, "Hey, Miss Frizzle, I saw a clip on TikTok today. Apparently there was a doctor on Fox saying that Trump isn't going through cognitive decline. He probably has undiagnosed ADHD. Would you care to add your own experience to this? As someone with ADHD, I'm not a doctor, I can't say, but no, Trump does not get that vibe from me." But whatever. Whatever. All right, let's go ahead and watch this.
New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die. With my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die.
No dawn, no era. I ain't a saint, nah, I'm something much rarer. I speak facts, I spit truth. I stand tall after all I've been through. I could have bowed out, I could have given in. Instead I bounce back, my rise is imminent. There's no breaking my stride, to the top I'll climb. With my best tail tie, with my best tail tie.
New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day.
They never get his physique right. I find that interesting. What's up with that? They always draw him like a muscly man. He's never looked like that. Even when he was younger, he didn't look like that.
I die with my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die.
Red tie, white collar, blue skies, got them raining green dollars. JT, my MVVP, we about to show you how it's done, no CAP. I could have bowed out.
No cap. And oh boy, look! It's an artistic depiction of the guy who tried to shoot Trump in the head.
Could have given in.
I'm sure Trump would appreciate this being in a music video about him.
Instead I bounce back, my rise is imminent. There's no breaking my stride to the
The AI's just...
top I'll climb. With my best tail tie, with my best tail tie.
New man,
Oh, the hands! Oh, the hands! Oh!
With my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die. New man, same old grind, gonna fight till the day I die. With my chin up in my fist held high, gonna fight till the day that I die.
With my best tail tie, with my best tail tie.
just horrifying.
With my fishtail tie.
I didn't like any of that. Why did they make me watch that? Aaliyah Explorers, thanks for 40 months. Appreciate ya. I think... Yep. Okay, so here's something that's not quite MAGA cope. It's just weird. So I wanted to cover this real quick. I had to feel this pain, so you have to feel it too. This is some sort of video by someone who believes that John Doyle isn't right-wing enough. And they're gonna compare him to a Dragon Ball Z character. And they're also like a weird PNG tuber anime girl. So let's
Get ready to dive into it.
Oh, that voice. The voice, too. Alright, let's check this out. Ugh.
Get ready to dive into an unflattering comparison as we explore the similarities between John Doyle, the right-winger who tries to emulate the coolness of Nick Fuentes but consistently falls short, and Yamcha from Dragon Ball, the perennial underdog who can never quite measure up. I'm your host, Mitsuri, and in today's video, we'll look at how both Doyle and Yamcha share a knack for trying hard but ultimately missing the mark. Strap in, because this one's going to be a bit of a rough ride.
The thesis of this video is that John Doyle is Yamcha, and I guess that would make Nick Fuentes Goku in this comparison, which is no bueno.
Number 10. Crybaby tendencies? John Doyle's inability to move past a joke made by Nick Fuentes about hoping he died in a car crash shows his crybaby tendencies. This is similar to Yamcha from Dragon.
Whoever made this, I don't like John Doyle, but whoever made this is just a terrible, terrible person, aren't they? Jesus Christ. Ashley One Up says, "Hi everyone, it's MAGA-chan. Ooh woo." Fenekagami says, "I hate everything about this." Me too!
Ball, who often whines about his misfortunes instead of toughening up. Yamcha's constant sulking after being outclassed in battles mirrors Doyle's emotional reactions. Both Doyle and Yamcha struggle to let go of minor grievances, which holds them back from being taken seriously. Just as Yamcha's complaints make him a joke among the Z-fighters, Doyle's sensitivity makes him less respected in his own circles. Here's the clip where Nick roasted him for it.
It was like Doyle. It's like the other day, John Doyle's he was tweeting. He was so butthurt. It's so delicious. So yummy. The butthurt is so freaking yummy. He's on Twitter and he's like, yeah, sure. Everybody hate on John Doyle for having a reasonable take. That was like his tweet. He was literally like, yeah, sure. Everyone hates on me because I just said this. And somebody replied to him and they're like, why can't we all just get along? And he goes, well, that's just because 2 years ago, somebody showed me a text where Nick Fuentes said that he hoped I died in a car crash. And it would be really funny when I was defending him like a fucking asshole. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Number 9. Poor
These people are not okay. They're like really, really not doing okay. Siberian Winter with 30 months says Jesus, and I thought Peepkin Pippa was the epitome of VTuber pygmies. I didn't understand any of that.
sense of humor. John Doyle often struggles with humor, coming across as awkward or forced. This is much like Yamcha, who is unintentionally funny due to his constant failures, like when he lost quickly to a Cyberman. Both try to be serious, but end up being the punchline. Their attempts at humor usually backfire, making them seem out of touch. While others excel in their fields, Doyle and Yamcha's failures in comedy only highlight their weaknesses. Here's a clip where Nick explained this best.
Beef
The war
Lord,
on
thanks for
Halloween is
subscribing.
real, folks, and it's right here. It's right in front of us, but it's okay. I will not let you down. The spirit of Robert E. Lee appeared to me.
I feel like I'm watching two, like I'm Jane Goodall, and I'm watching two troops of chimps go to war. Because it's just so weird. Like, I don't like anyone in this scenario, but it's weird watching the cringe attempts to, like, hurt each other when they're basically the same person as far as everyone else is concerned.
vision after he was released from the statue before ascending into heaven.
This is just bad. This is just bad. This is just bad writing. Whenever you have to create these like very intricate imaginary scenarios that go on and on like this is just very juvenile, very
Nick Fuentes calling anyone juvenile is incredible.
very low level, like
Oh yeah, this person is very up Nick's ass.
low IQ. It's very low order of comedy. This is like a 8-year-old that says, and then what if like it was a giraffe? You know, it's like, and then
It's not though, and I hate to defend Doyle on this, but no, comedic scenarios are a kind of joke, Nick.
and then what if this? What if that? Like, it's very low order comedy. What if something silly happened? It's sort of like, what if something silly happened? What if a very elaborate, silly thing happened? It's very low order. Low IQ humor. It's fucking dog shit. This content's dog shit, dude. We're 1 minute in and I want to just not watch this anymore. I want to not watch it.
Here,
Number 8. Avoidance of tough topics.
Oh my god, this is literally just gonna be he doesn't JQ hard enough. Kagami says Yamcha may have gotten his girl stolen by Vegeta, but he still has Riz. I mean, he lost it to a literal prince. Neither Nick nor John can get a woman, and this blasphemy against the love Hashira, who is a man, I bet. I don't know. I've seen Dragon Ball, but not enough to get half of these references.
John Doyle
I've watched it literally once.
avoids discussing Israeli influence in American politics. Likely
There it is. And they don't mean the Nick Fuentes person, so you know what they mean by that.
out of fear of losing support or donations. Yamcha too tends to shy away from major battles, preferring to stay on the sidelines when the stakes are high. This avoidance shows a lack of courage in both. Their hesitance to confront difficult issues or challenges leaves them lagging behind their peers who aren't afraid to tackle the tough stuff. Just as Yamcha's reluctance keeps him from being a true warrior, Doyle's avoidance of certain topics limits his influence. Number 7. Unimportance in the big picture. John Doyle's influence pales in comparison to
The pink-haired girl is a Hashira. I don't know what that means.
figures like Nick Fuentes, making him seem unimportant in the grand scheme of things. Similarly, Yamcha becomes less relevant as Dragon Ball progresses, with stronger characters taking the spotlight while he fades into the background. Both Doyle and Yamcha are overshadowed
Like
by
Piccolo,
more
who's
prominent
based.
figures in their respective worlds. Their lack of impact makes them forgettable, with Doyle's unimportance being highlighted in moments like when Nick roasted him for being insignificant.
I just love that Doyle goes anywhere, and they always want to talk about me. Anywhere Doyle goes, he gets asked about me. What do you think of Nick Fuentes? I go somewhere, nobody's ever asked me about John Doyle. And he goes on Alex Stein. So the elephant in the room, what do you think about Nick Fuentes and the Groypers? He goes on Adam King. So what do you think about Nick Fuentes? He goes on whatever podcast. You're just like a Nick Fuentes clone. I am the #1 most influential Generation Z right-wing commentator in the United States of America, and I have been for the last 4 years. No curly-headed bitch is going to come for that title because he made a couple of YouTube videos about jerking off. I'm fucking him. Not I'm fucking him. I mean, I'm him. I'm him. And I've been him for a minute. But, you know, he wants to come for the throne. You know, here's Mel. I have some YouTube videos. I made a YouTube video about masturbating. Yeah, okay. And, bitch. And I'm the #1 anti-Semite in America for like 1,000 years.
Number 6. Strange and off-putting content. John Doyle's videos, especially those covering strange topics like jerking off, are off-putting and weird. This odd content is comparable to Yamcha's awkward and sometimes cringeworthy attempts to stay relevant. Like,
I do hate anime. All anime. No exceptions. True.
when he tries to compete in the World Martial Arts Tournament despite being outmatched. Their weirdness doesn't win them any favors and only makes them look more out of place. While others are pushing forward with meaningful content or powerful battles, Doyle and Yamcha's odd choices only add to their downfall. Number 5. Refusal to address key issues. John Doyle refuses to discuss who controls Hollywood and why there is hatred
There
towards
it
white
is.
people, likely because it's too controversial for him. Yamcha also avoids confronting difficult situations, often choosing to sit out
I'm going to become the Joker.
of
'Cause
major
one of these days, one of these videos is gonna crack me in the head, and I'm gonna start laughing and never fucking stop. Like, it's gonna be fucking bad.
battles where he could make a difference. The refusal to step up and address key issues reflects a lack of courage. Doyle's unwillingness to take on these topics shows his reluctance to truly challenge the status quo. And of course, Nick called him out over that, which you can see in this clip.
So John Doyle, who I hate, and you know, I have sort of a beef with him. He's been totally silent on Israel-Palestine for like 5 weeks. But when this story came out, oh, he came out on firing on all cylinders. This is anti-white. They hate you. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you ignorant wigger. You know, that's all these
Gross.
pussies can do, is beat their chest and say, I'm white, I'm white. And you literally earned the moniker wigger.
Okay, I'm done with this video. That's basically a slur referencing a slur, so we're done with that. Speaking of Fuentes, unfortunately, this is weird. Fuentes is done. This is from Right Wing Watch, which is a great resource if you want to see what absolutely nutbag far right-wing people are saying. He's upset with Donald Trump, so he's trying to go to war with him, which is pretty funny. Rageology says, at no other point is this going to be as relevant. Go to the 30-minute mark. Don't worry, the artist likes their stuff being shared and won't get copyright struck. 30-minute mark? Then we'll do the Fuentes.
Friends. Shut up, bigots! Right, here comes the song Anime Cunt. The sing-along element of it are the words anime and cunt. This goes out to weirdly conservative fans of Japanese cartoons who are always incredibly transphobic, and yet their Twitter icon is always a pretty girl with pink hair. So, here we go. Anime cunt, anime cunt, anime cunt. Anime cunt, anime cunt, anime cunt, come in! Anime cunt, anime cunt, anime cunt, that's right! Anime cunt, anime cunt, anime cunt. Friends, I have just discovered that it's possible for the distortion pedal to become aroused. And now, a brief journey through space. Thank you.
Okay. Here's Fuentes freaking out on Trump.
We will be watching very closely the rhetoric on immigration, on foreign wars, and we will be monitoring the personnel decisions that are being made. And that includes the decisions and the organization of the campaign itself.
Basically, he wants to make sure that there aren't non-white people, that there aren't Jewish people in Trump's inner circle. Nick Fuentes has also been incredibly outspoken that he's upset about J.D. Vance because J.D. Vance is married to a non-white woman, and Nick Fuentes is a literal Nazi, and so are all his followers, so you know how that is. Phyllis Filler says, Step 1, declare war on Trump. Step 2, get arrested by the Secret Service. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, profit.
Depending on how things proceed from now until the election on those issues, we may undertake a series of menu options to escalate or de-escalate our campaign. And it will escalate along the ladder, which goes as follows. This week and in the ensuing weeks, we will engage in a robust digital campaign on True Social, on Twitter, and tonight we're going to do a little surprise by email. I'm going to give you the emails of Susie Wiles and Chris LaCivita, and I'm going to give you a template, and I'm going to call on all of you to send emails to the Trump campaign itself after our successful hashtag campaign last night. Tomorrow night on the show, we will have another surprise, another digital campaign aimed
Oh, yeah.
at
I
Donald
saw him freaking out over the white guy taco thing. They got nothing.
Trump's presidential campaign.
And it's funny, too, because in the Midwest, that's a joke I've heard many people make. Like, that's a known thing. Like, white people tacos is a joke that... It's not like he invented that joke. It's a fucking thing.
But it will only escalate and...
Like, unironically, if you're, like, from the American Southwest or something, and you come to the Midwest and you get served tacos, it's gonna be an experience for you that's gonna be very different.
expand from there. Depending on how things go in the coming weeks, we will begin deploying on the ground in the state of Michigan. That's where it will start. I'm headquartered in Chicago. If things don't get better, we will put boots on the ground in the state of Michigan.
Go away.
We will engage in other guerrilla political tactics in Michigan, which I will not disclose at this time. Michigan is a must-win, extremely competitive state with a very
I
large...
really don't want to have to deal with Groypers. Please stop.
Muslim population, which is deeply interested in the current policy regarding Iran, Israel, and Palestine. Our next step in escalation will be to take the Groyper War in person with boots on the ground and other assets in the state of Michigan.
I think we're past it, Rageology. Sorry, I just want to keep on this.
If things don't improve after that, we will escalate the Groyper War into every swing state in the country, including Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona. And we will persist in all of these actions.
He's so vague about what these actions will be. Nick, what do you mean these actions? What actions? Paul with 100 bits says, Magic School Bus paralleled my high school years, I see. I only vaguely remember Miss Frizzle, born 1980 here. Oh, Miss Frizzle's awesome. I love Magic School Bus. I own Magic School Bus on DVD. Rageology says, honestly, gets you bits. Thank you.
Digital, email, other traditional and non-traditional tactics in every swing state until the election, which includes telling people to sit this one out and refrain from voting unless or until we see a real change in policy regarding immigration, foreign war, and a change in posture towards the loyal and disloyal personnel.
I think he overstates his influence in any way. Like, don't get me wrong, John Doyle has influence over the farthest of far-right, like, white nationalist types. In a specific subset, too. Like, I feel like there's plenty of, like, good old boy, you know, more like, white nationalists who probably look at him and see him as, like, wimpy or don't like the whole suit aesthetic. Like, he is the subset of white nationalists that like to wear a suit. He's like a pseudo-Richard Spencer type. So I think he overstates his influence. I find his discussions interesting because I think in many ways he says the quiet part out loud, more so than being completely deviant from, like, the Republican message. But his personal influence is not that much. He probably influences less than 25,000 people in the entire United States, if that, which can be enough to make a difference in certain swing states, but, like, are they strategically placed? Probably not.
Operate inside the Trump movement.
So that's Fuentes. Fuentes, that's what he's been up to. I think we're done with him for the day, luckily, but it is interesting seeing him get salty at Trump despite being one of his most major supporters all throughout the past, like, 8 years or so. Oh, this is creepy. This is not a troll, by the way.
Of course I let my kids watch Trump on replay all day long. I'm a conservative mom. Of course Alexa knows who my daddy is. Alexa, who's my daddy?
Your daddy is Donald J. Trump.
Very normal. Steve with the Q, thanks for 100 bits and kicking off a hype train, 21% to level 1 on the hype train.
I'm a conservative mom. Of course we have a commissioned art piece of Trump hanging in our house.
Did she commission an art piece and then they just, like, gave her an AI-generated slop image? Because it kind of looks like it.
I'm a conservative mom. Of course my kids refer to Trump as daddy.
Hey Mom, when is Daddy Trump's next rally?
I'm a conservative mom.
Very normal. Radiology says, I have to head off. You said you were interested in conspiracy theories running in the UK general election. Here's a good source for it. Well, thank you very much. I will save this for later. Appreciate it.
Of course my kids sit around talking about Trump all day.
Did y'all hear where Kamala Harris was trying to sell Daddy Trump's policies? Kamala Harris!
Those kids are fucked. Those kids are going to be the most maladjusted kids in the history of maladjusted children. And I know, I am a maladjusted child. Some more Trump from a recent rally.
A lot of people. We're not going to let this socialist lunatic, and she's a socialist lunatic, that's the other thing. Please, sir, please don't call her a lunatic. I said, but that's what she is. She's a lunatic. She's a lunatic. She's going to destroy our country. And she's going to break our economy even more than it's broken. We have a broken economy. Our supply chain is gone. You know, you order something now. I don't know how many of you are in business, or even if you're ordering as a personal order, the order doesn't come. The supply chain is broken. Who ever thought of it? We never even talked about supply chain. Supply chain just worked. And
Trump is one of those people, kind of like Cece that we watch on Tinfoil Tuesday, who thinks if he's never thought of something, no one's ever thought of something. So whenever you hear Trump say, no one's ever thought of this, like no one's ever considered this before, countries no one's heard of, what he means is, I've never heard of this, I've never thought about this, and it's really funny to listen to once you realize what he's doing. Puka, thanks for 500 bits, 59% to level 1 in the hype train.
because of what they've done, they've broken our supply chain. On election day, we're going to tell her that we've had enough. We said, Kamala, you are a horrible vice president.
At least they finally taught him how to say her name closer to right.
Be a horrible,
he's saying Kamala now instead of Kamala, so that's good.
Horrible president. We're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get out of there.
Got it? Remember when he was on that TV show? Remember the reality TV show he was on, guys? That's what you want in a president, right? A reality TV star with a catchphrase like Larry the fucking Cable Guy.
You're fired. Not going to take it anymore, Kamala.
God damn, these people are dumb. He said a thing, and also let's chant USA! Woo! Minute left on the hype train. Unstable Deadbeat, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs and saving the hype train.
We're not going to take it anymore. We have a country to save. And how about the fake news? Oh, look at them all back there. Look at all those.
He does this same bit. He's just been doing the same bits for a decade. How are people not sick of this? 2% to level 3.
Cameras. Look at all those cameras. Wow. Look at all those cameras, all those fake writers. Look at them. I mean, Time Magazine, think of this. Time Magazine doesn't have a picture of her. They have this unbelievable artist drawing her. And I said, is that Sophia Loren? I couldn't.
What in the world? Cult of Cautious Optimism with 50 bits says, watching him spiral out of control because of Harris Wall's rally sizes has been hilarious, hasn't it? Overthought says, the TV show where he had contestants try to be the most normal, average, middle-class working Americans. Oh, no, he had them compete to be part of the upper class.
Who might that be? Is that Elizabeth Taylor? They say she was a beautiful woman. Who is it? So beautiful.
Is that The Trumpisms. The Trumpisms. I don't know how his brain functions to give such very strange, specific kinds of words.
Beautiful drawing. It's a drawing. They took a lot of pictures. It didn't work out, so they hired a sketch artist. I said, I'm sure, oh, they must be celebrating the great life and times of the magnificently beautiful Sophia Loren. And you're not allowed to say this anymore. You know, David, don't ever get caught in this trap, David, please. Don't ever call a woman beautiful, because that'll be the end of your political career, please.
Trump, you're literally a fucking rapist. Phyllis Filler says, Fuentes sure knows a lot of $10 big boy terms like deploying assets, boots on the ground, and guerrilla tactics. Too bad he's gonna need to have to learn phrases like, please, I'm begging you, Your Honor, when he fails in using these words.
I want to make your life much easier, David. By the way, he's also got a great wife, I have to say. He's got a great wife. But, you know, I mean, I read a so-called Republican who Ronald Reagan didn't like, by the way, and she didn't like him, but she got credit for being this Reagan speechwriter. Highly overrated. I don't know anything about her.
What the fuck?
I don't know her. Treats me...
Even Reagan didn't like her, okay? She was hated bigly by old Ronnie, okay?
Badly, but that's okay. She called it wrong. She's called it wrong now for about 8 years. But she said one thing that got me. She said...
Oh, here's the part I wanted y'all to see.
Kamala has one big advantage. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. So I decided to go back and reread the clause. I'm not saying he's... but I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
I just don't even know how you vote for this guy. Like, even outside of what a terrible person he is, just someone who focuses on this kind of shit is such a fucking joke. I don't know how anyone does it. If anyone who votes for him, how are you not embarrassed? What are you doing? So goddamn weird. And I'm not even just saying it as like, oh, this is a thing we're doing where we're calling them weird. Legitimately, he's fucking weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. I know I had a video that's like a get-together of a bunch of, like, QAnon Trump supporters, I think, and they're talking about something. Top military experts hold explosive roundtable decoding Trump's white hat signals.
Second law of war roundtable since June. Got an incredible assemblage of men who have all been in service here, both in the military and continued service to humanity. And for me, on the Sovereign Soul Show, this is a Fuck It Friday. I think it's the most powerful Fuck It Friday. So
thank you for the hype train, everyone.
Mother Mary Claire, is that what you said, Jim? You know, we can't be dropping them too much. But if anybody does not know these distinguished gentlemen and literal men of honor here, we'll turn it over to all of them, whether you're watching this on Sovereign Soul Show or Michael Jaco's channel or on Australia One or on Derek Johnson Rattle Trap or on the guy AJ Roberts, MrAJRoberts.com when he's not meditating with horses with his shirt.
I get pee-pee show vibes from this. Anyone who watches my meme stock videos, this gives me pee-pee show vibes.
Off, but he's also
a bunch of people hanging out in a chat and pretending to be experts when they don't know anything.
Calling in Galactics and Arcturians and elsewhere. And obviously on Godwin's Grace of God channel, Bishop Jim O'Connor. Jim, you are a descendant of Charles Carroll of Carrollton, and as the King Bishop and the General in God's Army, I feel that you should kick off with the introduction first of your background.
You say it's the General of God's Army?
For anybody assembled in our mutual audiences who does not know whom you are and what you do now.
Well, in 1976, I graduated from West Point. And in 72, I was one of the two plebes that saw the quote unquote West Point ghost, which was a series of 3 different demons. Cobalt being one of them, Satan being one of them, and one was too chicken to tell us who he was.
Did he just say he saw Satan at West Point?
After I graduated, I served in the infantry for 20 years. I'm parachute qualified. I'm airborne qualified. I've done some special ops with the guys from Bad Tulse. I specialized in anti-terrorist operations, and I was the guy.
Did you say nanite terrorist operations?
That led the Airland Battle Future Study that put the 120 millimeter gun on the tank. I had a very encompassing career. After that, I worked as a consultant and a test engineer for about 26 years. 7 years ago, I became a priest, and then shortly after that, a bishop in the Underground Orthodox Church. I was ordained as an exorcist, and right now I've been involved in 32 successful exorcisms.
How many unsuccessful ones? Just curious. Paul the Potato says, I'm embarrassed I voted for him in 2016. I was fooled into thinking Clinton was worse. Even I voted for him. I called him a horse's ass. Well, I'm glad that you are not voting for him anymore. That's good.
And about 45 miraculous healings.
People says, three amosexuals in the war college.
And I just lost my sound.
Oh, I'm still hearing you. At least I'm there.
You're good. You're good. And thank you for showing up for Cindy Lou last week. You got a chance to finally meet Michael Jaco here. We'll be.
Social Warlock Trey says, those are 3 jobs that have nothing to do with each other in the military, and you can't do all of them. Yeah, I was wondering if this is like a stolen valor situation, if this guy was just LARPing and was like grifting or what. Hydrate.
We're talking about that on this show. J6 America's grandmother, J6 grandmother, Cindy Lou Young, and the horrific episodes which she just went through as a result of the deep state. And then we'll turn it over to Colonel Sellers and then retired lieutenant.
And it was great meeting Michael and Kevin and Lisa Schermerhorn, and my distant cousin Abby Jones really made a nice appearance there too.
God bless you, man, that you got it done.
Colonel, if you please, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, we've done this before. It's I did retired Army infantry first, and then Special Forces for most of it. The 20 just under.
I'm skipping ahead to see if they get into the meat of this or we're moving on. Moira Soma says, I saw the panel discussion between right-wingers and Democrats on Adam Mockler, where one of the right-wingers said that us godless lefties don't have God, so we have replaced it with, wait for it, climate change. Yeah, they've just given up on any semblance of logic. A $4 or a $5 super chat on YouTube says, back in 2008, my high school business teacher constantly had us watch reruns of The Apprentice. These last 8 years have been surreal for me. I fucking bet.
UK, and yeah, obviously I started working a lot of things that were going on there, and obviously that's where a lot of my background has come from, is like actually witnessing the false flags with my own eyes, you know, and then working at Porton Down and seeing like, yeah, this is nefarious. Like, I don't see what good this does. Everything from laser technology to the fact they make Novichok there, you know, that poisoned those Russians, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think very much
blood on his right thumb so that he would do God's work. Then he laid prostrate on the ground, praying.
He laid prostrate on the ground?
To God.
I know he's saying prostrate. Alright, I'll move on. I'm having fun with this, but they're definitely more tinfoil Tuesday. As much as I enjoy that, today's not tinfoil. But let's see what we have. Oh boy! Bryson Gray has a new rap for this election. And you know how I like right-wing rap. I don't.
Aye, liberals mad at me, Republicans mad at me, MAGA mad at me. But I'm hated for his namesake. Stand on that. Aye, I pick God first, ain't switch up for no dollar. I don't care about these politicians, ain't voting Trump or Kamala. If you offended, then get mad, hit unfollow. If you put votes over God, it's an honor.
Wait, did he stop? Is he not voting for Trump anymore? That would be fucking hilarious. I haven't been keeping up with Bryson Gray. Is he not voting for Trump? How did Trump piss him off? Is it because his audience got smaller?
What is up, YouTube? I have an announcement to make. Starting this Friday, I will be releasing a song every...
You keep losing fans. They say Bryson done, he gon' miss his chance. That's what happens when you pick out over man. And I ain't of this world, it's hard for them to understand. Hold on, hey, but Bryson, didn't you wear a MAGA hat? Yeah, I did. But then Trump, he switched up after that. He supported...
Oh my god, he's not voting for Trump anymore. At least he's not. Wait, oh no. I think this is the moment I realize Trump might actually be fucked. He lost Bryson Gray. Oh no. I know this seems like a weird indicator, but to me that viscerally means something. Like, he's nonsense, but there are a lot of people whose votes are nonsense. Oh my goodness.
Abortion up to 15 weeks, imagine that. 96% of abortions, that's where they happen at. Two wings, same bird, they maybe was right. Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. People sell their soul, but forget it came with a price. Y'all can do what's popular, but I'm staying with Christ. And you want his left if you not playing it right. They gon' say I'm prideful cause I'm not saying it nice. But I'm God's child, you know.
Let me explain what I mean by, like, actually feeling a little different because Bryson Gray. There are people who Trump got to come out and vote who were not typical voters. That was one of his strengths, is that he brought in people who were not typical voters. Bryson Gray was one of those. He had talked about not being interested in politics before Trump. If people like this, people who weren't very interested in politics, are starting to, like, bounce off it a little bit, and he had, at least in theory, a financial incentive to try and keep the Trump shit going. I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting to me. And probably a good sign. So nice. Alright, let's see what's next. How about a reaction to what, I forget which one's alive. I want to say Diamond's the one that's alive. Maybe it's Silk. Whichever one's the one that's alive, talking about the Donald Trump Elon interview. Ooh.
Day, whenever, so hey, just went off. So
Bryson's voting for RFK now. You know how birds of a feather flock together. Worms piloting humans. And MH Dark Beast says, did I see this MAGA woman losing her shit?
That's why she's determined to lower healthcare costs and make housing more affordable. Donald Trump has no plan to help.
Oh, because they put a Kamala ad on Fox News? Yeah, they'll take anyone's money.
The middle class.
hey Fox, why are you showing Kamala ads? Do you think CNN and MSNBC are showing Trump ads? Hey Murdochs, you foreigner scum! What the hell?
Ma'am, they're a business. She paid the money.
Two great people, Diamond and Silk, right? Diamond and Silk. Make America great again. We love them.
I unironically think some of these MAGA grifters are never going to recover. Because, like, this is the highlight of Diamond and Silk's life, and one of their lives is already over. The other one's going to stick around with a dwindling career, so that's interesting and kind of depressing.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Yes, it's time to make America great again.
Also, I find it weird that they still call it the Diamond and Silk Show. I understand initially when her sister died why it would stay, but at some point you gotta kind of move on from the branding. It's really macabre and weird to still act like your sister's alive and make her this big part of the show. Like, I understand a reference, having her photo in the background, a little remembrance thing at the end of episodes, or even a little in memory of at the beginning. But the show's still called the Diamond and Silk Show. One of them's dead. Like, that's not how this works.
Oh, yes, it is. Now, listen, I'm going to give y'all the heads up. I don't know what's going on. You know how you have those technical difficulties or technical issues? You know, my blue light on my camera just went off, so I can see me. I hope y'all can see me. And I don't know, you know, things just have been a little weird, okay? You know, maybe it's the Iranians or whatever trying to hack in, you know, like they did with President Trump and Elon Musk a conversation last night there on
Literally, the website just doesn't work right.
On that cell. I don't know, but the blue light is gone. So if we're gonna keep this show going, but I'm gonna tell my producers to get a commercial ready just in case we have to kick some things in, okay? All right, because I don't know, the doggone camera may go up and down and all of the different stuff. All right, but we're gonna keep on going. All right. So hey, you all, welcome to the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat Live Show. I am your host, Silk, and you're my co-host, my Diamond Dream Team. And as my precious sister will always say, it takes a team to build a dream. So I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Be sure to like and share this broadcast, like and share this broadcast, podcast, whatever kind of cast they, you know, keep naming it and different things. You know, I was thinking the other day, whenever I see a lot of people, you know, coming on and they're doing these different selfies and the different things with the little videos and so forth. I was like, you know, I remember when my sister and I, we started doing that. That was not common. You know, whenever you went on to do an interview or had something to say, you know, they sent the car out and you had to go to some studio or what have you for about a 3-minute hit. Then they drive you all the way back home for about an hour.
And, like, it looks like the room behind her, people in chat are talking about this too, the number of photographs. Like, that looks like a functional sitting room that's just full of, like, tripods of big professionally printed photos. Like, I'm assuming these were photos that were printed for her funeral. Because these are the kind of things you would have at a funeral or a wake or something. But she just has them in this sitting room all the time? I don't know. That's not good. There's some kind of metaphor here, or maybe even a simile of some sort, if I use like or as to compare the presence that these photos have in obscuring the use of this room and this grief still being present in her life in an obstructive way.
Hour and a half. Y'all remember that, you know, and then, you know, just to be sitting there talking to the camera. I remember
Nick Fuentes, Nazi cohorts mad at Trump because of Trump's cozy relationship with Netanyahu. Yeah, we watched a clip earlier about it.
Diamond is the one that basically started that I know of, okay? I don't remember nobody else just sitting there talking to the camera. Then I joined in, you know, a few weeks later, and we just sat there and talked to the camera, all right? Now I see everybody talking to the camera and posting it and loading it up and everything. And I'm like, well, will you look at here? Will you look at here? This is like the common thing to do. That's where a lot of people get majority of their news nowadays.
I'm sorry, is she trying to claim that Diamond invented filming yourself on your phone and posting your opinions to the internet? Because it kind of sounds like she's trying to imply that, and that's very much not true.
Okay, well, they get the truth really from people telling their own thoughts and perception about different things. That's where it's coming from. So you all just share. Y'all remember podcast was only audio. It was just audio only. Now podcast is video. Okay, yeah, they just done changed a lot of stuff
I
up
see
on it.
Truth Social stock price is about to hit record low since it hit public trade. I didn't see that. It doesn't surprise me, though. He was on X the other day. Like, of course the stock's gonna go down. It feels like an admission that your site sucks.
Sister, but yeah, share it, like.
From what you can find, it looks like Bryson stopped supporting Trump because he said he'd allow exceptions for abortion bans. I mean, at least he's not gonna vote for him. I'll take it.
Like it, thumbs up it. Thank you for your contribution. Some of the platforms allow you to make a contribution, so I want to say thank you so very, very much. And I want you to share it everywhere. Let them know that Silk is on the air. Don't forget, you all, to download the Frank Speech app, the Frank Social app. It's 2 different apps, and it's absolutely free so that we can stay updated and informed and connected. Okay, we got to.
Saudi Arabia, Peeplord of 50 Bits says Saudi Arabia did co-fund Elon's buy of Twitter, so if you take into account MAGA people just see Middle Eastern person, enabling Elon as an attack on America, I don't think they're seeing it that. No. I think it's just literally, he's on his competitor's platform. That's why. And then you go on to say, I think that works because Joe Biden is secretly running for president. Oh, you're doing random shitpost stuff. Nah.
Do it. You got to download it. Y'all see, and y'all, we're gonna get into it in a few, how they are really trying to take down ads. Twitter ads is what I call it. So that y'all know that I'm talking about the Twitter, but it's called ads now. Okay.
What a successful rebranding. Almost no one just calls it X. They either still call it Twitter or they say like Twitter X or X Twitter. This is the least successful rebranding in the history of a rebrand.
Okay. They're trying to take them down, okay, because they hate the fact that people have a place and a space to tell their truth, and that is alternative truth. Okay?
The least successful rebrand since Hydrox tried to go by Droxies. Is that a joke?
Say alternative truth, meaning that the Democrats, they have their truth. All right, which I may view as a lie, but I'm not trying to shut them down. I'm just not paying no attention to them. And then I have my alternative truth, okay, which they may think is misinformation, but they trying to shut me down. They trying to shut us down, okay? But we're not on our side trying to shut them down. They can spill and spew whatever they want to, just people not going to listen to them. We can't help on the alternative truth, the alternative media that people.
The alternative truth.
Choose to come over here and listen to us. We can't help.
It's telling, isn't it?
That, huh? People have a choice here in America. We still live in a free country.
A country so free can choose your own reality.
Check.
We're killing it.
Okay, even though they're trying to make it into a communist country. All right. So download the Frank Social and Frank Speech app. All right. If you have any questions, email them to diamondandsilk@gmail.com. Shout out to everyone joining me live there on Getter Live, Rumble Live, Frank Speech Live, X Live. Shout out to each and every one of you. You all just be ready for me to come on whenever I'm about to come on. The numbers just start going up. I want to say thank you so much. I truly do love you. I truly do, and I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to Lindell TV, RSBN Network, CTA TV, to Stripes TV, Blessed News Network, Eagle News Network, and all of the other different networks that's carrying the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show.
Eagle News Network.
Shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to you. Okay? All right? You all, the show is sponsored by mypillow.com.
I love that she does like 20 minutes of My Pillow ads before the show. I know I should skip it.
Pillow.com, we can get.
But I think it's appropriate to show the level of shilling that goes into these fucking shows, and that basically she's a pillow salesman who does political commentary as a side hustle, but the main thing is selling the pillows. You gotta sell these goddamn pillows.
The My Pillow 2.0, the My Mattress Topper 2.0, the sheets, the slippers, the towels, the loungewear, and so much more. You are right there at mypillow.com. Be sure to use promo code Diamond or promo code Trump1. Okay?
Oh wow, she's still using her dead sister's name as a promo code for some shitty pillows. Great. That's classy. Hey, when I die, don't use my name as a promo code.
Did win, all right?
It's the only request.
And don't forget about My Coffee. Yes, you can get the My Coffee at My...
Oh my god, they're selling fucking coffee now too? Is it the same, like, white label bullshit coffee brand coffee stuff that Jeremy uses for his chud coffee brand.
Store.com is a
What if it's for cheese? If you're giving away cheese in my name, it better be for free. You charge people for cheese after my death in my name, I swear to God I'll haunt you. And not in a fun way. It'll be scary, and I'll steal your cheese.
always say the best part to waking up is not being woke, but being awake with my coffee. So don't be
Not for being woke, but being awake. Oh, we did it. We did it. It's an anti-woke coffee brand.
hasty. Go on over there and get you something tasty right there at mystore.com. Be sure to use promo code DIAMOND. The show is also sponsored you all by patchthat.com. That's right. That's the LifeWave patches, okay? Patchthat.com. No need for any plugs.
It
No
says
need
patchthat.info. What's patchthat.info? It just goes to the Diamond and Silk store. Hey y'all, I've been using the patches for a while. And now I must say, it's amazing. The X39 patches stimulates the skin with low levels of light, resulting in improved energy flow. All patches are made in the USA. If you'd like to join the business side and become a brand partner, or if you need more information, fill out the form below. 90-day money-back guarantee. Oh, they're grifter things. I see. It's a grift.
Well, good morning, good afternoon.
Oh my god, it says the patch activates your stem cells.
Good evening, everyone. This is David Schmidt, founder and CEO of LifeWave.
Wow, sounds very professional with that fucking microphone.
And welcome to this very special webinar on LifeWave technology and the X39. Now, we are recording this webinar today so that you'll be able to share it with fellow members, team members, and potential customers so they can get an overview on what LifeWave technology is all about and, of course, what the X39 is about. There's a lot more to the story. We, of course, refer to X39 as activating your stem cells, and there's a lot about that.
That shouldn't be a legal claim you can make, because you're absolutely not doing that.
So let's go ahead and get started so
it's
you
an MLM2. Beautiful.
can get the information on this that you're looking for. So where we're going to start.
I like how it's how does this technology work, and then it's like an AI image of two fucking planets exploding into each other. This has nothing to do with the presentation. It looks kind of neat, but you know, it's also kind of visual garbage, so what does this have to do with my stem cells?
Is for people that are new to LifeWave is give an overview of how our technology works, because we have an entirely new approach to activating stem cells in the body. This is not a drug, it's not a nutritional supplement, it's a completely new way of taking advantage of stem cell technology. So let's
This is such a grift.
dig into
I'm sorry, I know this is a tangent, but this is wild.
this first so you can understand why our method is so much better and so much different than anything else you've heard of before. Now, LifeWave technology is phototherapy. So instead of trying to put a drug or a nutritional supplement in the body, we can activate stem cells with light, and we do it all with a patch. Now, the patch does not contain any type of ingredients that goes into the body. That would be what's called a transdermal patch.
Okay, I'm saving this for tinfoil because it's good shit. But we gotta get back to the Trump stuff. Let me save this real quick so we can investigate this on another stream. It just never ends. It's never ending. Life is just a treadmill.
sockets. You are the natural source and resource that the patches need. Yes, yes, yes. And it's money back guarantee. So I want you to go to patchthat.com and get patched up. That's what I want you to do. All right, you all, and here is another quick message about another one of our show sponsor, Native Path Collagen. All right, take a look at this.
How many goddamn sponsors?
Hey,
oh my god, it cut to an ad with her!
Native Path Collagen.
Also, yes, I don't think any of those photos changed between the different shots, which were clearly filmed on different days, which means these photos are here all the time.
.com, as I always say, the best part to waking up is not being woke, but being awake with my need. Yes, yes, yes. And it's money back guarantee. So I want you to go to patchthat.com and get patched up. That's what I want you to do. All right, you all. And here is another quick message about another one of our show sponsor, Native Path Collagen. All right, take a look at this. Hey y'all, it's Silk.
The camera angle changed, but all the photos are in the exact same position, which means they stay there all the time.
Native Path Collagen is formulated with ingredients that are scientifically backed to reduce wrinkles, increase bone density, support tissue recovery.
Maybe I want less dense bones. Maybe I'm too dense. Maybe I want to be more buoyant.
Enhance hair thickness and strengthen weak or damaged nails. Who wouldn't want more collagen with all of these benefits? And here's the best part. You can try it risk-free because it's money back guaranteed. So stock up now and get up to an amazing 45% off plus shipping when you purchase Native Path.
This is so many goddamn
collagen.
ads.
Now you can't beat that. So do it today and start your transformation right away at getnativepath.com/silk. I want you to start your transformation today. Do it today is what I want you all to do by going to getnativepath.
Okay, be done.
Woohoo. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I think we're finally on the content.
So now y'all understand why the liberal media is crying like babies. That's why they're crying like babies. Over 1 billion combined views in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, Elon claimed that over 1 billion people saw his and Trump's interview, which would be like 1/8 of the planet. I'm sure that bot thing is under control.
Oh my God. Incredible, okay?
Amazingly, 3/4 of the viewers all commented pussy in bio.
It was a 2-hour chat. Of course, after, getting past the cyber hacks and, whatever they want to call
Not
them.
the cyber hacks!
And of course, the crash, because you had so many millions of people trying to get on at one time, okay? And let me tell you something about President Donald J. Trump. He's real. He'd sit there and have a conversation. That's right.
This is Silk. Diamond is dead. Killjoy with 100 bits says, it feels so strange to me that these ads work on conservatives. They're simultaneously very distrusting of outsiders and those that they deem to run counter to their beliefs, which is understandable, at least, but then incredibly trusting of obvious scammers like these alt-health people who are selling garbage, because they present themselves as being an alternative to the mainstream medical community, and they're also being presented it by people that they believe they trust parasocially. Someone like Silk here, they trust her, and she's working with these advertisers. Their trust is communicable.
And see, that's something, once again, that the Democrats is not used to.
Their trust is based on association more so than any tangible, reality.
So they're
not analyzing, is this thing true? It's, do I trust this person, and does this person trust this person, to create a mental map of, an in-group. Fenekagami says, I do love how the veil is lifting and they're just now admitting that they're liars spreading misinformation and they know that and don't care. How many of them think that they can say something like alternative truth and not sound like liars or mentally unstable to a normal person? They're not beating the weird allegations.
Used to a conversation because they want to silence you. Okay? Now listen, for those of you that did not get to see or hear, let's say hear, the conversation there on X. You can find it there on my Twitter X page of Diamond and Silk or True Social. I posted there as well so that you can go back and listen.
Shades of Proxy says, I thought diamonds are forever. Did Fleming lie to me? Yes. Also, Dr. No wasn't a doctor. He just had a master's degree, but no one called him on it.
Into it. Now, I am still learning. Let me just be real with y'all. I'm still learning about Elon Musk, okay? Because I don't know him. I don't know him like that, y'all. I just don't know him, okay? I just know his name is Elon Musk, okay? And I know that my Twitter page, my X page, is still censored. That's what I know. Okay. I know he bought out Twitter. He called it X, but my page, the Diamond and Silk page, is still censored. Okay. However, he appears to have his own voice and he appears to not be beholden to the Democrats or the corporate media. Okay. So I guess that's, a good thing about him. All right. So we'll just see as time go on about Elon Musk. There's a lot of different things that he wants to implement and do and all of this stuff. And for me and my house and my tempo, if I choose to do it, I'll do it. If I don't choose to do it, I won't. See, where people get in trouble, where these people get in trouble is when they try to force you into doing something you don't want to do. All right. So we have a choice out there. Okay. Now, after or during this particular X space there on X with President Donald J. Trump and Elon Musk, Kamala, Cackling Hen Kamala, their team, or Cackling Hen Kamala herself, they respond, okay?
I appreciate that the best they got is, like, they could have done Kamala. I don't know. I feel like there are other, like, things they could have done, but they went, Cackling Kamala. Like, that's the worst they could have gone. She laughs. Got her. Fucking got her for laughing. Jacqueline Kamala.
They sent out a response, okay? So this is what the response said. It says, Donald Trump, extremist and dangerous project, okay? First off, I thought we already said something about the word extremist. Huh? I thought we said that word incite violence, Democrats. I thought that's what they said, okay? All right? That's what she said, okay? Extremist and dangerous Project 2025 agenda. So there you go. She coming back bringing in this Project 2025 where President Trump said it didn't have nothing to do with him.
He's lying. We watched some of the videos and we're going to watch more later this week. Literally people that he appointed from his first term were all up in it. JD Vance, his vice president, wrote the foreword for the fucking project. Not only are they aware of it, they are involved. So tired of the lies.
All right, so right there, she lying. Okay, so she's
Trump's lying.
Inciting violence, and she's lying. Okay, she said it's a feature, not a glitch, of his campaign, which was on full display for those unlucky enough to listen in tonight doing whatsoever that was on X.com. Well, she must know whatsoever that was on whatever that was on X that night or last night. She must know about it. She must have listened to it because she had something to say about it. Okay. She also said Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024.
Yeah, good messaging.
Now, how many live streams have Kamala Harris, how many have she ran? Huh? Does she even know how to turn on a computer?
Yes.
Huh?
What is this no you? This no you doesn't even make goddamn sense. What are you talking about? What are you fucking talking about? Benigagami says, remember, politicians lie, but not the policies. Politicians lie, but not the politicians they would never. I assume that was supposed to be their politicians. Remember, politicians lie, but not their politicians. They would never lie. God damn, I know the median voter is stupid, but they're not as stupid as you, Silk.
I'm just wondering, just asking, okay? Okay? Now listen, President Trump said he was going to sue people. He said he was going to sue people who try to tie him to this Project 20.
Good luck to him.
25, okay? Now, a lot of the people, when I went and did my little research, a lot of people got this tied to the Heritage Foundation, okay? No, no, no. There is another 2025 that is tied to Joe Biden's and Kamala Harris campaign / website.
The fuck are they talking about?
All right. All right. That's what they are promoting. Okay. Their talking points as 2025, and they're trying to tie President Trump to this project 2025. Okay. All right. Now, with Kamala campaign, what she is saying, what they're saying is false information. It's misinformation. It was a false statement. Okay. And President Trump, remember, he sent out a cease and desist of using his name and trying to tie it to Project 2025. So I think that it's time for President Trump to go ahead and sue her for lying and for defamation. That's right. And for false.
Because he's won so many defamation suits.
Representation. That's what I think that it's time for him to do to her. Okay? Because they keep pushing their talking points as Project 2025 as if that's something that's tied to President Donald J. Trump, and that is a lie. So it's time to sue her. Yes, yes, yes. So we can bring out all of the evidence to see what's really truly going on. Let the world see what's really truly happening. How these people, they're doing nothing but another Russia, Russia, Russia. That's all they're doing. Okay? All right.
All these people know our buzz phrases. Kind of maddening.
These are deceptive bastards.
Cult of Cautious Optimism, thanks for the 50 bits.
Bastards that want to keep you tied to some hogwash that you don't even have nothing to do with. Okay? Now, President Donald J. Trump's, his platform is called Agenda 47. Agenda 47. You all go look it up. Okay? Y'all go look it up.
Benekagami says, I dare Trump to sue Kamala and Walls over 2025. The discovery process would be amazing.
Agenda 47. That's President Donald J. Trump platform. All right? He has nothing to do with the Heritage Foundation Project 2025. He has nothing to do with Joe.
The Heritage Foundation is literally a right-wing think tank that works to influence Republican presidents and other politicians. That's their whole, thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Biden and Kamala Harris web page, Project 2025. He don't have nothing to do with that. Okay? All right. Now, let me circle back real quick to something, this comment that she made. She said Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys. Self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class. Okay, so when I saw that, I said, well, what the hell is she? What is she? Is she a low-grade, rich, beige gal that's selling out America?
What?
Because that's what it looked like she's doing. Okay? All right? It's not just the middle class that Kamala and Joe Biden is selling out. It's all America. Yes, 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 yes. See, you got to remember that Kamala is the one who gave the deciding vote to tax the tips. Yes, it was Kamala, okay? All right? Kamala Harris, okay? Now,
what?
Not to mention the open borders where illegal aliens are
Does she think that taxing tips is a recent thing? Didn't that happen during the fucking Reagan administration?
Placing American jobs, American workers. Yes, it's Kamala. Remember, she was, or still is, the border czar. She still is the border czar. Not was. She still is the border czar and still have done nothing to the border yet now, okay? She want to sit there and act like she's all innocent, okay? When hers and Joe Biden's policies have basically destroyed the middle class, all class, because all people are suffering, When we go to that grocery store, it don't ask you what class are you and give you a price change on the bacon, on the food. It don't ask you what.
Kroger's actually trying to do that, implementing a system where they charge you differently depending on spike times in terms of sort of surge pricing and based on who you are and your income, which is a yikes.
Party are you affiliated with? It don't have certain prices for Democrats, certain prices for Republicans. No, it's one price for all. And all of us have to suffer because
Yeah, and some people have more money than others, so it matters less to them. This is a really bad talking point. All right, let's move on from Silk, because she has nothing, nothing intelligent to say, unfortunately. How's Terrence K. Williams doing? He's always in chipper spirits. Fedekagami says, Walz doesn't even own a house. He lives in the governor's mansion. Walz and Harris are the poorest candidates we've had on the ticket in decades. Hell, Biden wasn't wealthy until fairly recently.
Good evening, Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
He's laughing at the fact that he slowed down the video?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening.
Yo, imagine 4 years. Yo, we're going to do an activity. Close your eyes and imagine 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 years of Kamala Harris and this dude, Tim, this reject Joe Biden.
Are you saying that because he's a white dude? Is that the, like, is it just because he's a white guy, he's Joe Biden? That's interesting. You know, he's a lot younger than Biden, or whatever. I don't really care. Just strange. I think it would be great, Terrence. I think it would be very relaxing, relatively speaking, to the alternative.
Imagine 4 years of that. That is the scariest imagination that I have ever had. There is no way. I'm telling you now, people.
That's the scariest imagination he's ever had. Here's the thing, in comedy, your wording matters, so say things correctly.
Kamala Harris, okay, this woman who's been parading around, doing her best, trying her best to be and sound black, which she's not.
She is? She is. That's not a debatable thing.
She has chosen one of the... This dude is just insane. Like, just full of insanity, okay? And he's about as dingy as Kamala Harris. So these two dingbats, these two...
This is all he's fucking got?
Ding-dongs are trying...
He's really struggling for material without Biden around, just like Trump is.
...to run the country. We won't have one for them to run if they actually win. They don't even talk about policy.
Yes, they do.
Production.
Wow, he has nothing. That's good. That's good. All right, let's see what we're gonna do next. Oh boy, let's do some right-wing watch clips. They're always good. Toreador says, is it me or is the hate bigger than usual? I think it's the text, or the hat. I think it's the text, but it looks like one of those foam cowboy hats. Yeah, it looked pretty big. I don't know why.
The question before us tonight is, can America rise once again to defeat a multi-headed enemy that is both inside our homeland and overseas? My role here tonight is to share with you the mission, the mindset, the model that has been proven successful throughout all of human history, and how this model is being implemented once again in these United States. It's called the Remnant Alliance. The Remnant Alliance is a group of Christ-centered organizations that have come together combining skill sets and resources, creating a plexus of support for our pastor leaders and citizens throughout the United States through the local church. You say, Steve, you sound like a Christian national. And I say, you're dadgum right. We sound like a Christian national.
Fucking yikes.
So what is the Remnant Alliance? We first have a boot camp for
What the fuck is this graphic? Divine alignment, citizens defending freedom, local light, local action, local church, law, media narrative, ground intelligence, kingdom influence, shining light, taking action, liberty pastor, biblical citizens, salt and light activation, selecting godly leaders.
Pastors. Most of our pastors have come through a seminary that's been watered down and basically says you just do this and don't get out there and do that. We believe God tells us that He is to be Lord of all of our lives. There is no compartmentalization. That includes our civil life, our married life, our sex life, our business life. God's either the Lord or He's not the Lord, right? We can't.
You heard it here first. A government so small it can fit in your bedroom and then your pants. Woo!
We can't break it into compartments. Those pastors leave that 3-day boot camp with their wives, and then they go home and they begin preaching. They have an armful of sermons, and they're excited, and they commit to go home and preach a biblical worldview and teach this history we're talking about. Next, we train the congregates. Most of our American citizens have never taught our Christian heritage, and so we take care of that through Rick Green and an organization called Biblical Citizenship with Patriot Academy. Over 30,000 coaches across the nation. Millions of people have been watching this. We train our
Oh good, they're creating propaganda to spread Christian nationalist messaging to people in churches. That should end well. Kagami says, imagine having such brain rot normalcy, consistency, joy frightens you. I think a reason they have nothing is because those in charge have nothing. There was a bunch of documents that got released years ago that proved that right-wing ecosystem is way more connected than most people think. I think this is proof that in many ways they are like a hive mind without leadership giving them some direction. The soldiers don't know what to do. It is very top-down. I really need to get reading glasses. Holy shit. My eyes are not what they used to be.
Congregation. Next is Salt and Light. Salt and Light Council. It is a toolkit inside that church that now everything involved from selecting and training leaders to voter guides, how to start a private school.
If you're a church and give out voter guides, you should lose your tax-exempt status yesterday, you disgusting fucking freaks.
Anything you need in that community to get activated, it's in that toolbox. Our organization is Citizens Defending Freedom. We bring the attorneys at the grassroots level, we bring the media, and we bring our own intelligence so we can understand the money flows and what's going on in that community. This is just an illustration of it right here.
Oh, there's that lovely graphic again. Kagami says it's not helping you that I can't type. True.
But inside that church, you're doing your normal stuff, but you're adding one more ministry that's that a volunteer is taking care of. So you got children's ministry, you got women's ministry, all youth ministry. Now we have a biblical citizenship ministry. And their job is to help shine the light on that community. There are 320,000 churches in America today. Every single one of them is an embassy, or could be an embassy, for the kingdom of God. We are ambassadors for Christ. This is not our home. Our mission is to represent our kingdom on earth. And we draw a circle around that church, and that becomes our turf. Our job is to extend the kingdom of God.
Oh, these guys. Remember that even after we vote out, or make Trump go away, hopefully, with this vote, be aware that these people aren't going to stop. They're going to try it again and again and again. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance and all that shit. You know, it is what it is.
The reason why I have grown to despise democracy is because it's not we the people. It's we the some people. And who are those people? Non-elected officials. Like what democracy, what it lends its strength to is instead of having elected officials that have power, is a raw universal, because that's what we have is a universal democracy. Everyone is allowed to vote. Right. Everyone. And just for the record, you know, yeah, I think the 19th Amendment should be repealed. I think that because, well, first and foremost, because I'm a Christian. You know, and that is the Christian position. Oh my gosh.
The 19th Amendment is the one that gives women the right to vote. For those that don't know.
So you're saying that, yes, that is the Christian position, is that households should not be divided against one another. So it's not just elevating a male vote, but it's elevating the household vote. We're saying that that society, if you break it down to the basic building block, is not atomistic as individuals, but molecular, being households. That the way that God sees humanity is he breaks them down to families. And so
literally speaking for God.
It's not just random individual atoms all, you know, bouncing around together and you know, 350 million atoms bouncing together in one nation on one piece of land, but it's families. And so by repealing the 19th Amendment, just for the record, it's not just trying to take away a female vote, but it's trying to say, no, there's a family vote. Right.
How about you take away the men's vote then? If it doesn't matter who it is and it's the whole family voting, why specifically the women? That's interesting, isn't it?
There's a household, and it's like, well, where do women get their voice? Well, where women get their voice is from their father, from their husband. If they're not married,
that's not a voice.
From their father. If they're not married and their father's dead, it's from their brother. It's from their uncle. It's the men in their lives that love them.
Holy fuck, that's disturbing. Holy fuck. Literally just Gilead shit. Ugh.
You've got people like, you know, Russell Moore and David French throwing around the term Christian nationalism, like, ooh, you know, if you act on your faith, you're being a Christian nationalist. And I think to myself, you mean the way George Washington and
Alden Undying says, never trust a man who puts his words in the mouth of God.
Billy Graham.
Who said that quote?
I mean, all these heroes that lived out their faith in all kinds of spheres today.
I'm probably not going to want to cut this out, whatever it is, MH Dark Beast. I've been trying to do that less lately. And no, I'm not going to play that. Sorry.
They would be, oh, you're a Christian nationalist. Yeah. And I think it's just an invented term to silence the church. It's an evil term.
Literally just stop trying to force your shit on other people. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not a hard concept to understand.
And they got the weirdest doctrine about what Christians believe and what Christian nationalism, what they think it is. I think I used the term once, because I'm not an atheist globalist. I happen to be a nationalist. I believe in America. I believe whatever country you're in, you should believe in your country and you should labor there as if God providentially put you there. Nothing dumb about that or threatening. These people, they're under a very serious species of mind manipulation, which causes them to hear everything you say almost through a paranoid vector.
Oh boy. Headache Kagami says, I hate democracy because it's not really democracy. We the people don't have real power, and as a solution, I promote we have even less democracy than we have already, says the bargain bin Matt Walsh preacher. They know what they're doing. They're using rhetoric irresponsibly and in bad faith. All right, let's see what we're going to do next. We can probably move on from right-wing watch stuff.
You ever see this guy?
998.
How's Mike Pillow doing?
You ever see this guy with the pillows on Fox? My Pillow guy.
Mike Lindell. He is the greatest. The My Pillow.
Toreador says, neat, Twitter avatar guy made it to the RNC.
Mike Lindell. And he's been with us right from the beginning.
What an intro. Pretty self-filleting, if I'm being honest.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lindell Report here on frankspeech.com. We have a big show tonight. Lots of stuff to tell you over the last week and what's going to happen next week. The whole show, we're gonna really push the code L77 for My Pillow products or My Store, or call that 800 number.
I'm gonna skip the ads this time. I'm not gonna make you sit through 10 more minutes of fucking My Pillow ads.
And slides. They're on sale, $25 extravaganza.
He's yelling at you. Okay, maybe I need to listen to a little bit of this. He's angrily yelling at us about buying towels. Maybe I do need to watch this.
4-pack dish towel sets, which are right here, all the different dish towel sets we have. But let me tell you,
he's literally got bags of them.
Sets now. 6-pack dish towel sets for $25 a set. How can we get by with all these prices? Because they cancel us. We get canceled. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Let's attack My Pillow, the most attacked company in the history of the world. We're going to tell you more about what just happened in a minute. What else have they done to us to attack entities that I have, including my foundation, my recovery network, my outreach? We're going to tell you all about that in a minute, how horrible it is. Can you go back to the website just one more time? Okay, you guys see on the right there, those are the 2-pack multi-use My Pillows. And let me tell you,
trying to fix it so you can see them.
The flag ones. We've got the American flag. We've got, here's one over here. With God, all things are possible.
I'm sorry, he's just literally shilling. He's grabbing shit like, buy this. Oh, you gotta buy my. We got the great alligator. We got the man who killed Don Quixote. We got the house that dripped blood. We've been canceled by the left. Someone please buy my copy of Dreamstalker. What the fuck, man?
You've got me holding the flag. You got me holding the
his phone's. He doesn't silence his phone before his show. It's a show. Turn your ringer off, asshole.
Flag here. We got people calling in on my show. By the way, we're going to have a call in tonight too, you guys. You're all going to be able to ask questions after I fill you in on what's going on. And I'll get your comments and stuff. Now scroll down a little bit.
Please, someone buy my copy of Swing Vote. No one will take it.
The sandals, slippers, and slides. They're on sale. $25 extravaganza.
Dragon Slayer 2, Time Warp.
Once they're gone on certain ones. They're these are the all-season slippers. I know.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
And we have a limited amount on the sandals. I know we have some sandals there.
Garden State.
The sandals, slides, slippers, and all that. You can check it out. Free shipping options available.
All right, that's the end of the bit. Let's move past the fucking ad and get to whatever content he wants to do.
The worst governor in the United States.
You can, Jay's a proxy. Is he about to talk about the order that you're talking about?
It's probably in history. They've done. We got served paper. Take it away now. MyStore.com or My Pillow. MyStore.com. We have over I think it's 1,500 products, 100% made in the USA. How are we able to save all this money for you out there? Because we don't have any middlemen. They're all gone. Which brings up the next attack. The next attack that they've done, it happened 2 days ago.
Why do I have these movies? Why don't you have these movies? What kind of question is that? I own all the movies. Name a movie. I own that movie, and it's right next to me. All of them in the history of the world.
And you guys aren't going to believe this. What did they? I think I told you that they came after me.
Have you not figured out at this point that I'm a trickster fae that deals in film?
My recovery network. Now they hit all 3 of my charities. The first one, why don't you go ahead and put that up if you can. This is what they've done. We got served paper. Yeah, just no, put up the whole
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes 3. No, I only have 2.
that whole piece of paper, and I'll scroll down that we sent you. The papers that were served on it. Here's what was served, and we'll go through this slowly. Our Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison.
Thank you, Jay's a proxy, for the link.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. This guy, remember, I'm in Minnesota here, where who comes from? Tim Walz, the worst governor in the United States, probably in history. What he's done.
The worst governor in history.
Minnesota. And
take that, Pontius Pilate. You're off the hook.
Who did he have?
Do I own any anime? I do. I do own anime. I have Pokemon. I have Ultimate Muscle. I have Akira.
All of a sudden, I wonder when Keith Ellison's going to attack Mike Lindell. Well, he did. The first one is the Lindell Foundation outreach. If you scroll down, let's see what the next one is they serve papers on. Go ahead and scroll down. Scroll up. The Lindell Foundation. And we get a little bit further, and now what was the next one they attack? There it is, the Lindell Recovery Network. And the Lindell Recovery Network, you guys all know I was an ex-crack addict and addict. I set this network up. It's a Christian-based online free treatment center, free help. Free help. It's just a website online to help addicts. LindellRecoveryNetwork.org. I'm going to go scroll down, and I'm going to read what they sent. This was a huge packets, and this is the front paragraph. Dear sir or madam, maybe they forgot who I was, right?
The stock letter, dipshit.
Enclosed and served upon Lindell Recovery Network is a Minnesota Attorney General.
I do have Cannibal Holocaust.
We know who that is. Horrible man. And by the way, my lawyers go, maybe, Mike, you shouldn't put this up there tonight. Why not? They're attacking me. Of course I'm going to put him up there. What do you think I'm going to do? Sit back and go, oh, we might have to make a deal. I go, I've done nothing wrong. There's no deals.
I don't have Studio Ghibli, although there is a box set of Studio Ghibli movies on my Amazon wish list. If anyone wants me to watch Studio Ghibli movies, I think it's like $60 for like 10 movies or something. It's a crazy deal. I just can't be spending money on Blu-rays right now.
Any deals ever? No deal. That's my deal. No deal. No deal, Keith Ellison.
Do I own the Art of the Deal movie with Johnny Depp as Trump? I don't think they ever released that on Blu-ray. I've seen it, but I don't think they ever released it anywhere.
Listen, I tell my lawyers, I said, of course I'm going to put this on my show. It's disgusting. Anyway, investigation is, let me see what it says there. Civil investigation demand, well, at least it's civil in this, this is served upon LRN, Lindell Recovery Network, by the Attorney General pertinent to civil law enforcement authority under Minnesota. Okay, hold on. Under Minnesota statute section 8.31.
He is upset. He is upset.
Compliance with this CID is mandatory. Wonder what I get if I tell them where to go with this this whole serving papers or whatever they want. I mean, these things are this thick. The lawyers are asking me questions in the other room while I'm autographing books and signing books for the Recovery Network, for the book. Charlie, where's one of my books here? Get one of them books. So I'm in there signing books, which I wrote this book, What Are the Odds? From Crack Addict to CEO. This helps people, helps addicts.
Oh, I have that book. From Crack Addict to CEO, and then it's got a lenticular cover where it's like, Crack Addict, CEO, Crack Addict, CEO, Crack Addict, CEO. Child, crazy man, child, crazy man. That's fun.
When I go around this country helping to secure our election platform, people come up to me all the time. Mike, I read your book. I went to the Lindell Recovery Network. I found Jesus. They've been saved. This is, getting...
Mike, I don't think they're suing you because people were saved or whatever. They might suspect you of money laundering or something. I don't know that. All I have is the information right here, but, I imagine they have some sort of reason they're going to be civilly suing you, not just for funsies.
Not the addiction is just a bonus, whatever addiction you got. By the way, everybody, if you know someone in addiction, go Go to LindellRecoveryNetwork.org. You go there and you're going to put in your age. You're going to put what.
I'd suggest you go with resources less affiliated with this. There are a lot of them out there.
What you're addicted to, and it's going to help you.
I'm addicted to MAGA cope, and this is some primo shit, so I think I might be in trouble.
It's going to help that person. Okay, put them back up again, though. I want to show people the disgusting what they did. So here's the Attorney General of Minnesota serves these papers today on my foundation, my outreach program, and the Lindell Recovery Network, which I put 99.9% of the millions of dollars into those three entities came from me and me alone. There's a few dollars that have strung in over the past year. I haven't even had time to concentrate on this as I've been spending all my money on our election platforms, which, by the way, you go there at lindellplan.com. We all know that. But this is disgusting. You know, you trying to take away and destroy a platform that helps people? Shame on you, Keith Ellison, Minnesota Attorney General. I wonder if they're upset that I badmouthed our governor, Tim Walz, the worst governor, if not and the most far left evil person there is.
Again, he gave like breakfast to school children and like made sure that like there are sanitary products in bathrooms for people. That's evil, I guess.
Anybody that says, "Oh, he's a grandpa type," Tim Walz, rubbish. He helped burn down Minneapolis, didn't bring in the National Guard. This guy and when we had the China virus going on here in Minnesota, they go, he made rules like if you're in a restaurant, you got to eat out in a snowbank. You can't eat in there. We hope your plate doesn't melt into the snow while you're eating your dinner. Then he did
probably just don't go out to eat during that
stuff at Thanksgiving. We got to have, I don't know, what was it, 8 to 10 people in our house? Let's say it was 10 on Thanksgiving.
The recommendation. I don't think they were going to come arrest you for anything else, but that's the recommendation, guys. Yeah.
And your neighbor could turn you in. He set up a site. Your neighbor could turn you in. You do 90 days in jail.
That's honestly based as fuck, and I love that. I didn't know that. I hope that's true. I hope that's not something that he's just making up on the spot, because that's fucking hilarious.
Are you out of your mind, Tim Walz? On Christmas, everybody complained about Thanksgiving. He gave us 3 or 4 extra people. We're going to give you a little bonus. Of course, he probably call it a holiday and not Merry Christmas. We know that.
We're really doing this?
You know what he's saying?
They're still on the war on Christmas fantasy they invented like 30 years ago.
He shut down the Christian churches in Minnesota. Shut them down, but yet...
Shut down every religious thing. It was for COVID. It didn't have anything to do with your Christianity, you fucking loser.
He let the bells ring for Allah in Minneapolis off the buildings, which the only ever done in the United States. I think it's the first and only time ever done in the United States.
The fuck is he talking about?
It's just disgusting. And anyway, that's what he's done. He's attacked my recovery network, attacked the foundation, attacked he wants to get them shut down. Just a disgusting human being. And that's what we're up against in Minnesota. But now I'm going to give you guys got all that. That's why, and today, we've got I'm going to shift gears now. I'm not going to let this distract me. I told my lawyers today in the other room, I said, you guys, you fill out all this stuff. I said, I answer questions, multitasking.
Givazoa says, hard to get worse after recovering from addiction, but Mike sure did beat the odds. I think he got addicted to something else. He got addicted to like this like conspiratorial holier than thou MAGA stuff. Sometimes people, when they beat addiction, more so just transfer that addictive tendency towards another outlet, which, that isn't always a bad thing. Like, if you can go from like being addicted to like alcohol or cocaine or heroin to like being addicted to like, I don't know, jogging or coffee or something, that can be better. I'm not knocking that at all. We all have different coping mechanisms for dealing with addiction. Unfortunately, he went from a bad one to another bad one, so gotta be careful.
And stuff, doing stuff, answering their question to Keith Ellison, all these questions and this big investigation. Well, you're going to find out, Keith Ellison, there's nothing to hide. I told my lawyer, just give them everything. Who cares? Give them all the stuff where the IRS attacked my home reps and my pillow. The IRS the IRS attacked me. They did 2 audits. or 3 audits. I don't know. I got so many audits going on, I can't even pay attention. They did all these audits. First they came and they audited 2020, 2021. Remember,
I might be a little bit addicted to Blu-rays. Just a little bit.
I had a supplement.
I have over 3,000, you know.
To help open up the United States. And then we were going to give them away here and in Israel, the Philippines, Brazil, the stuff that I had back then. And I got attacked for it by the FDA. They all attacked me. The media attacked me. So all the things that helped save lives, they all got outdated. $10 million worth, everybody. $10 million worth. The IRS came in and said, well, you can't deduct them that year. You got to deduct them, which would be last year. Well, gee, last year, I'm out $10 million. I need to deduct them in that year. And so we're in this big argument as they put.
Mike, it's not an argument. They're the IRS. They know the fucking IRS code. You just did it wrong. He thinks he's arguing with the IRS like it's like a matter of opinion what he's allowed to deduct and when. No, it's the law. They're just informing you were fucking wrong. Fennec Kagami says, I love when they bring up the BLM, quote, riots, because they seem to forget that Trump was president during that summer. So, you know, whose fault is it? Those cities burned, quote. Weird how selective they are with this criticism, almost like it's bullshit. Yeah, they're in bad faith all the time, basically.
It leans on me and all this other stuff.
Any opinion on Netflix's attempt at Magic School Bus? I don't like the animation, but it's not made for me either. It's for, like, kids. So I hope kids enjoy it. It's probably still informative, but I don't know.
It's just disgusting. One attack after another. And you know what? It's not stopping me from speaking out to help save this country, which is what? The plan to secure our elections. I was just in New Jersey, and our great real president was there. He did the press conference yesterday. I had to leave
our
before
real
that started.
President.
But one of the things, everybody, I was so happy to hear while I was there, and you all heard about it probably already, he's bringing back Corey Ludnowski. He's a very, very close friend of mine, and I'll tell you what, that guy, he's a bulldog. He's going to get out there. Here's what it said here. Here's what he tweeted out. It's already got 1 million hits just on my X. Says, Corey put, how could anyone not be excited to help elect this man? I've been with President Trump since day one, worked with him in 2016 and 2020. I'm very excited to get back on the campaign team and help deliver victory in 2024. 81 days left. Let Trump be Trump. Get off the couch and join us. The president needs your help. And this is...
Did I see the creepy Trump ad that uses AI Reagan? No! Thank you for the creepiness.
This is the Jim Heath Channel playlist of 2024 campaign ads.
Please welcome President Ronald Reagan, who has a few questions for you.
All of you will go to the polls, will stand there in the polling place and make a decision. I think when you make that decision, it might be well if you would ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was 4 years ago? Is there more or less unemployment in the country than there was 4 years ago? Is America as respected throughout the world as it was?
More so. Where did they get this idea that Trump was respected? Trump was literally laughed at everywhere he fucking went. What are they on?
Do you feel that our security is as safe, that we're as strong as we were 4 years ago? If you don't think that this course that we've been on for the last 4 years is what you would like to see us follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
President Trump. He'll make America great again.
But, like, that was already his catchphrase. Yeah, it sounded like it was just something taken out of context, but I don't know. Yeah. Creepy.
This is where we're at, everybody. And so this is where we're at. And I'll tell you, Corey, I talked to him this morning for probably quite a long time. And I'm so excited because I was getting so many things from the grassroots, like what's going on? We need help from the RNC, and what's going on the RNC? What are they all doing? And well, I'll tell you what, you gotta find it there. Corey said to me, he goes, Mike, I only answer to one guy. First is Jesus Christ, and then it's Donald Trump. And he meant one guy here. He said first Jesus Christ, and then Donald Trump. I thought that was great. And he's a fighter, and he's going to get things done, just like he did. I worked with Corey. He's absolutely amazing. It was really awesome that our great real president brought him on. So I was excited to hear that, and I was telling Corey about our plan that we have, everybody, and we have the plan to secure our elections. We already have the plan.
I always like that he never says elections and instead always says lections.
It's laid out there. We do need your help at home. Go to lindellplan.com. lindellplan.com. Get involved. Donate. Help us out. We need help. It's the only thing that can stop us now. We just need help. We need resources there to continue on with the plan. We've got the great plan. And one of the parts of the plan is you secure your mail-in ballot, get it off them dirty voter rolls, and when you go in to vote on election day and they say, I'm sorry, you've already voted, you pull it out and you go, no, I haven't voted. Now what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's not a thing, dude. What are you fucking talking about? Emma Not Emma, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, I can't wait to move to Minnesota specifically to annoy this guy. That's as good of a reason as any to move.
Explain that, Mr. Election official. Well, there it is right there. There's your step one. You go to lindellplan.com and you go right down these steps and you'll see what you can do. We've got it all laid out. People say, well, Mike, what can we do? We already have the plan. We already have everything in all 3,143 counties. We have tens of thousands. I think the cause of America goes out to about 300,000 people that we have out there. And by the way, I finance that too. You guys, we need help at the Lindell Offense Fund, which is you can go here and get it.
I like that he started with this with like, I'm being sued by the state. Also now give me money. Unrelated.
One state over here is getting blocked, or one county.
Recently discovered a well-known nutrient that dramatically reduces joint pain.
Oh, it's a scam.
Fights inflammation.
14,000.
Oh, he's shilling pillows and mattresses again. So the ads at the beginning weren't even the only ads for pillows. That was the warm-up.
Supports.
I get the information for my trial.
The same fraudulent.
And all the evidence from the 2020 election that she got, which we have right here on Frank's Speech, everybody. We actually have the if you go to inside the machines, what was inside there. So she actually tried to bring it into her case, and the judge stopped it. All the evidence to bring in what the whole thing was based on. So
oh my God, turn your ringer off. What the fuck are you doing?
It was based on, let me get this off. And so I think you're going to be up against that. I hope you can try.
He heard me.
I will connect you. If you can get, he can get your phone number from you, and I can call you afterwards and connect you with people on our team that can maybe, it's actually a side team that does with the January Sixers that can help you and give you resources that we have. So why don't if you can take care of you there, and then you can. Yeah, we can check out at least they can give you.
I just love Mike Lindell.
Oh, thanks.
Is that you?
This is me.
Is that Mike?
And you're from Canada.
Oh. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Yes, and I'm hooked.
Right on.
I'm addicted to frankspeech.com.
Oh, thank you.
You're not even American.
You have done so much for America, exposing the machines. And I try to tell everybody in Canada that I know about those same machines that are used in the USA are used in Canada. And
that's right.
the same fraudulent. That's why Mr. Trudeau keeps getting in, and then mail-in ballots. I mean, you've nailed it. We were not aware of all that before.
Right. Right. Do you know in Canada, it actually started out of Toronto. This goes back to Dominion. It goes back. Toronto actually used, I don't know if those were actually the Dominion ones, but they were using the same GEMS technology on tablets. Canada, you actually had them before we did here in the U.S. And there's a guy up there that's on my team. He's been fighting this for about 30 years.
Very successfully, apparently, since he's still working on it. I spent way too much time on Mike. He just tickles me, though. Very strange guy.
Prominently that. Hello, this is Rudy Giuliani, and this is the Rudy Giuliani Show. Welcome to us and to Frank's speech. And let's begin with the fact that we're going to have a Comrade Walz, J.D. Vance debate in October, early October.
Comrade Walz.
CBS News.
Yeah, the picture he uses is fucking hilarious. The picture he uses for his streams is like a 30-year-old picture. Like, this is the equivalent to someone using like a 30-year-old picture on a dating app. Look at the picture he uses for this shit. Like, that's like a pre-9/11 photo.
I'm sure it will be a big, big, big deal in Beijing, favorite city of Comrade Walz, who has announced quite prominently that his favorite vacation in the whole world was his vacation in China, which is, of course, unusual for an American patriot.
It's unusual to enjoy your visit to another country? What the fuck are you talking about? That's a bizarre statement, even by his standards.
Usually they find China to be awful.
That's why no one ever visits China.
This one here, Rudolph Giuliani, who spent time in two very different Chinese cities. One, a real wreck, Beijing, and the other about the closest you get to a westernized Chinese city, other than Hong Kong, which really isn't a Chinese city. It's a British city that the Chinese have dominated, dictated to, and taken over.
The UK gave back Hong Kong in the 90s. I believe in 1997, Hong Kong was officially given over back to China. Does he know that? That was like 30 years ago. Is he familiar?
The way Comrade Walz did in Minneapolis when COVID was going on. So we can't, you really...
Is it bad that I only remember the year of that because of Hong Kong 97, the movie?
I don't know. You want to count? If you want, you can count. You can count that too. I mean, you can if you want. But let's stick with Beijing. I'm willing to bet that if you're a patriotic American, you don't want to go back to Beijing unless it is to save people. I bet you're not going to tell me, if you're a patriotic American, that your favorite vacation was in China.
What is this?
I bet you're not going to tell me for sure, if you're a patriotic American and you spent one day in China, that socialism, one man's socialism is another man's neighborliness. I'm going to bet you don't do that if you're a patriotic American. I'm going to bet you do that if you've been trained as a Marxist from the time that you're young. You were put in the teachers union as a Marxist from the time that you
Does he think that China follows Marxism? China isn't Marxist. What? I'm so tired. Fellow Legozzi with 19 months says, Hindlong 97, my favorite snuff game. Phyllis Filler says, what is this grasping at straws? Yeah, not well either. John Doyle hasn't done anything since the Harris nomination. I don't know what he's doing.
Young, that you taught propaganda from the time that you were young, that on those 30 trips to China, you didn't just bring hair walls with you. You also brought children who you indoctrinated as Marxists.
Fucking what? Again, China isn't Marxist.
And that, hey, Fatso, you're one of the...
I'm sorry, did Rudy Giuliani just call someone Fatso? Rudy. Buddy.
You're one of the reasons we have a Marxist population of students in America. So stop all
Yeah, okay.
the goddamn phony laughing. A high school defensive coordinator. And I don't know, you think that stomach is solid? You think one shot in that stomach and that big coward goes down saying, no Afghanistan for me?
Did he just say what?
What do you think? I don't know. I don't know about that part of it. I do know that he did walk out on his unit as it was
No, he didn't. He retired.
about to go off to Afghanistan.
He applied for retirement 6 months before the Afghanistan war even fucking started.
Which is rather rare, but a sure sign of complete and absolute cowardice.
Trump faked bone spurs to not get drafted. Finnegan says Hong Kong is an independent city. It's separate from China. In fact, refugees flee there to escape the CCP. That's why it was such a big deal when the treaty that protects Hong Kong ran out. No one but China wants Hong Kong to end up under China again. I mean, it happened, though. So, I don't know what he's talking about.
Similar to a governor.
It was given back from the UK in 97, then it was operating as like an independent economic zone, and then China was like, nope, done with that, which I think sucks. But it nonetheless happened.
That would allow a baby mayor to do the one thing that has never been done in the history of America, which is to give up a police precinct to a group of communist rioters. That's who the people were rioting after the death of George Floyd from drug overdose. When George Floyd died of drug...
He didn't die of a drug overdose. We had a whole trial over it. And the guy, Derek Chauvin, was found fucking guilty. So wrong.
Overdose. They rioted in the city of Minneapolis, and they did something I don't think has ever been done, even in Chicago. They gave up a police precinct because the mayor was crying, and therefore hard to think when you're crying. And the governor was just looking for an opportunity to have the communists led by Black Lives Matter, which is a communist organization.
Literally, Rudy Giuliani is just like word salading his way through this, and it's quite interesting. The mental degradation here is like pretty fucking bad. The brainworms just get at people, don't they?
Do know, of course. It's a police-killing communist organization supported very heavily by Comrade Walls. Now, I hope in this debate with between a true American hero, a true patriot, J.D. Vance.
True American hero, J.D. Vance. I'm sorry, why is he an American hero?
Who actually did
J.D. Vance.
Serve in the Marines and did serve in combat, being demeaned because he was a public affairs officer. By the same group that actually honors public affairs officers who die in military service, some of whom did. But of course, because it was J.D. Vance, he's being demeaned. But there's a big difference. J.D. Vance, even as a public relations officer, saw action, was shot at the way my friend Bernie Kerik was, could have been killed in action, and never lied about anything else other than that. Meanwhile, his opponent is a skunk, a liar, a coward, and a communist. So it could be interesting. Let's see if we can bring that all out in the debate between an American patriot and an American coward, an American and a red Chinese. So the Harris campaign is going to spend $90 million over the next 3 weeks to redefine Kamala Harris. To take a lot more money. 90 million, that's it. 90 million to redefine Kukla? What are they going to get rid of all that? we're going to see it now like this. Every once in a while. You know how Biden, Ted used to go like this all the time? That's what, in my day, that's what cocaine addicts did. They were constantly like,
that is a thing.
Well, first of all, cocaine addicts do that because that's one of the, nowadays they take cocaine all different ways. They smoke it, they eat it. I don't know what the hell they do it.
Do you mean crack cocaine, which was introduced in like the late 70s, early 80s? In Rudy Giuliani's head, is crack cocaine still a new thing? Is that how old this fucking man is? Benikagami says, even veteran critics of Walls have come out and said this attack on Walls' service is awful and clearly full of lies. The guy who made up these lies is a bitter piece of shit who admitted that he ended up in charge of the unit since Walls retired.
They stick it in their ear.
We could ask Hunter.
They actually stick it in their ear.
What?
Stick it in their ear. The thin membranes of the ear can absorb it. Well, why do you think it works in the nose? Because the nose.
At that point, you might just boof it.
Breathes it in, of course. But it's also because the thin membranes of the nose absorb it into the blood. So you stick it in the ear. You don't get as good. It's not as. Look, let's face it. You're going to waste money if you do that. And if you're taking fentanyl, maybe.
Well, that's killing people. People are trying to do cocaine at parties, and they end up dying because it's not cocaine; it's fentanyl.
You think that you think tampon tin is in favor of fentanyl because it helps China's economy?
I mean, the guy loves the place. He loves China. Anything to help the Chinese economy.
He seemed to have much regard for the people of the United States. He shouldn't protect them on May 28th.
This is the weirdest rambling. This goes on for a fucking hour, and he does this show like weekly. Moira Soma says, I've never heard Trump laugh, just scoff when he thinks he has bullied someone into a corner. Neither has any of his friends, apparently. There have been an effort to go through his televised stuff to see him laugh. They found nothing. I don't trust someone who doesn't laugh, and I guess Trump doesn't like people who show actual joy so easily, like Kamala and Tim.
Of 2020. Do you think he roots for the Chinese being able to get large amounts of fentanyl into the United States?
I'm thinking no.
And I'm going to get.
And I think that kind of.
And
yes.
I can't even say you enjoyed it.
Who the fuck is this guy he's talking about?
We absorbed it. Massively.
Yeah. As was said, it's a textbook.
Because most of the talk.
Oh, I recognize him. He did some character acting work back in
almost like what's happening. So.
He become a right-wing grifter?
Far, without any doubt, without any question in its history. Possibly 10 to 12 million have come in illegally, some undetermined portion of whom are extremely dangerous criminals.
Undetermined portion is a way to say we're just making shit up.
After September 11, stop us from using as a description that our enemy were Islamic extremists. Nobody was saying Islam. They were saying Islamic extremists.
Okay. We're probably done with Giuliani now, too, because that's just embarrassing to watch. That's terrible. This is a speech J.D. Vance gave recently. We'll skim through some of the stuff that people spoke before him, because there's several people that kind of do speeches before he comes out, and then we'll listen to part of his speech.
Hey, so let's stand, put our hands over our hearts, and say the pledge.
Oh my god, they're like recreationally doing the Pledge of Allegiance? What the fuck? That's weird.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Man, that was great. Thank you all. So my name's Sean Parnell. I am a combat veteran, and I led an infantry platoon at the height of the hunt for Bin Laden. Hey, Rob. Hey, Joe. How you all doing? See lots of friendly faces out there. And I'm also, I grew up here, right in Western Pennsylvania, right here. This is my hometown. But one of the things that always amazed me about my time in the Army, in my time in Afghanistan, and combat teaches you a lot of different lessons, is that I feel like I was blessed to lead what was the most diverse infantry platoon that you could possibly imagine. I mean, black next to white, Christians.
Are they going to yell DEI?
Next to atheists, next to Jews, rich next to poor.
Oh, honey, rich people don't go to war. They just start them.
Young next to old. And yes, Democrats next.
Again, they're not super old people in the in combat roles and whatever.
To Republicans, all in the same foxhole. And it did not matter. There were no hyphenated Americans in eastern Afghanistan on the hunt for bin Laden. And what I learned amidst all of that death and all of that destruction.
It was all very worth it, by the way. Not a waste of time or lives.
It was, you know, I learned that leadership is about service, first, last, and always. And I learned that and was inspired on a day-to-day basis by my soldiers and their heroic actions in Afghanistan in service to one another. At the end of the day, it just came down to not wanting
Did Vance grow a goatee and some muscles overnight? No.
To let each other down. I had a medic in Afghanistan, his name was Doc Pantoja. He was shot.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this guy.
Take time today, God, thank you.
Who's this lady? There are like a dozen people here, including the press. Aaliyah says these guys want to be drones in a patriarchal anthill. In front of the mic. Really hard to hear.
Listen up.
There we go.
If you do this wrong, we do it again. Here we go. Up in the morning with the rising sun, gonna run all day till Trump has won now. Motivation. Dedication. Motivation. Love to double time. Now JD Vance is running the line. Waltz is falling way behind now.
Polls kind of show the opposite, but I guess your thing rhymes, so whatever gets you off, I guess. Ben Kagami says, leadership is about service, you say, then why do Republicans always bitch when citizens demand the government do things for them, you know, like provide services? Toriador says, bringing in the B team on this one.
Motivation. Dedication.
I don't have a rules command. Don't be a dick. Don't be any kind of phobic. There you go. There's the rules.
Motivation. Love to double time. Give yourself a round of applause. And I saw y'all in the back wimping out in the cheap seats. I saw. But
Hun, they're all cheap seats. Have you seen this goddamn room?
I saw all these guys participate. Listen up. I'm the executive director of Veterans for Trump. What that means is the Veterans Coalition is going to be the most powerful coalition. If you have not signed up, you need to sign up at veterans.donaldjtrump.com. Veterans.donaldjtrump.com. Get in there because we're going to activate the veterans better than anybody. Right now, we have some incredible speakers coming out. You already know who most of them are. We got J.D. Vance, the United States Marine. We got Congressman Matz. We got Congressman Banks. And we got Congressman Waltz. I'm not going to stand here and talk about the VA
Blurring out of this dimension from embarrassment.
that had a
There we
91%
go.
approval rating under Donald J. Trump because Congressman Waltz is going to cover Afghanistan. We have the other congressmen that are going to, Congressman Mast will cover the VA, and all of them are going to talk to you about the reasons we're not going to tolerate an administration that does not respect the military, allow that.
Donald Trump doesn't respect the military. He literally just had a speech where he's like, actually, presidential medals of freedom are much better than congressional medals of honor, because medals of honor are all given to, like, broken down, injured soldiers. The presidential medal of freedom, much better. He said that shit. So what are you talking about? Trump has never, ever respected the military. Benny Kagami says they're so desperate to get the same energy as Harris Walls rallies. This is so sad, it's hilarious.
That botch
Yeah.
withdrawal in the VA that does not.
I wonder who negotiated the withdrawal. If only we could look that up. All right, let's get to Vance.
It's great to be
That folksy bounty down music.
here. Hoorah, we got a Marine out there. God bless you. What do you guys put in the water here in Western PA? This is a hell of a crowd. Thank you,
Lead.
guys. It's great to be here. It's great to be part of VFW Post 92. I've actually got the card right here
He had to pull it out to get the actual name.
in my pocket. I'm officially a member, so this is not the last time you're going to see me. I'm going to come back.
And that was the last they ever saw of him.
Come back to VFW Post 92, have some pancakes, maybe a cigarette, whatever, right?
I'm just like you. I also like to destroy my lungs with emphysema.
We'll figure it out then. Let me just say a few things here, and before I do, I want to, please take a seat, please. I think it's appropriate because this is actually the 3-year anniversary of when President Joe Biden got us out of Afghanistan in the most disgraceful way, and of course Kamala Harris was right there every step of the way.
It looks like he wears eyeliner. He has very dark eyelashes. Peoplord says, can we be Europhobic? They saddled us with feet and miles and keep getting our citizens charged for solving their pickpocket problems.
And because they tried to shut the airport before they got everybody out, one of the most catastrophic mistakes in the history of the U.S. military, totally unforced error from Kamala Harris, and a total failure of leadership.
Yes, Commander-in-Chief Kamala Harris.
We lost 13 brave service members that we didn't need to lose, and that was 3 years ago. So before we get started here, I just thought it would be appropriate for us to observe a moment of silence, think about those 13 young Americans who died, and think about their sacrifice.
Oh my god, he did the thing!
Amen. Thank you all, and thank you all for...
Is he Catholic? Isn't that usually like a Catholic thing?
For remembering them. You know, a lot of you know my story of service, and a lot of you don't, so just talk a little bit about my service in the United States Marine Corps, what it meant to me, and how it transformed me. Hoorah, we've got some Marines out there. Of course,
we got some crayons in the back for you to munch on, enjoy.
Of course, we're the loudest and the most obnoxious, of course. That's what we bring to the United States military. I've been traveling around with 4 soldiers and a sailor, and, you know, that's like the beginning of a bad joke, I think. 4 soldiers, a sailor, and a Marine walk into VFW Post 92. Well, let me just say a few things about that service. So I was so fortunate to have the Marine Corps play a transformative role on my entire life. I was in a lot of ways a troubled kid, a directionless kid, and the Marine Corps really changed who I was. Now, the mamaw, the grandmother who raised me, was not excited about me joining the United States Marine Corps, enlisting right out of high school. She loved the Marines, and she was proud of this country and proud of what the Marines fought for. But like a lot of parents and grandparents of a lot of young people, remember this was April of 2003 when I enlisted. We had just invaded Iraq a month before, and she was worried about my safety. And I remember when the Marine Corps recruiter, I believe his name was Staff Sergeant Crafton, he was from the South.
Oh god, what did Trump tweet? I just got sent a Trump tweet. Oh, yeah, the commie thing. An AI image. Yeah, for those that didn't see, he posted an AI image of a Kamala rally, but with communist Soviet Union shit. Ah.
Because he had that real deep Southern accent. Staff Sergeant Crafton came to our house, and my mamaw said, if you step 1 foot on my porch, I will blow it off. And as nervous as I was...
Sounds like a very stable family you come from.
About going to boot camp, I went to boot camp in September of 2003 in Paris Island. My recruiter said, listen, as tough as those Marine Corps drill instructors are, they've got nothing on that grandma of yours. So I was prepared in many ways for Marine Corps boot camp, but it really did have a transformative effect on my life. And I know that all of us who serve share this common bond of this is our home. This is our family. Our brothers and sisters in arms became like brothers and sisters in our actual families, and we're proud to serve this country. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve, and we don't like anybody who takes that service for granted. Ain't that right? So I think that, you know, the Marines have a lot going for them, and I honor every member of every branch of our armed forces. But the one thing that I think the Marines really do well is we have the best motto. I have a favorite motto of the U.S. military, and of course I'm biased, but Semper Fidelis, always faithful, right? You hear Marines say it all the time, Semper Fi. And to me, what it means is that Marines are always faithful to our country and to our brothers and sisters in arms, but it also has another meaning.
What the fuck does that even mean? Cult of Cautious Optimism says, sometimes I remember how truly weird and unlikable J.D. Vance is. It feels like he fakes every interaction he has as some sort of transactional pragmatic exercise. It's like you can see him thinking in his head, like, I am giving a speech. Pivot this way. Pivot this way. Like he's a sprinkler. Like he's got a very, artificial demeanor about him. Moira Soma says this guy tried to brush away right-wing's racist attacks on his Indian wife with, well, she's obviously not white, but another right-wing slimeball with no spine who won't defend their spouse. Oh, I saw that. It was fucked up.
Which is that we always have to be faithful to all of the members of our military who served this country and did so honorably. And you heard Jim Banks talk about this a little bit, and I want to...
Oh no, what else did Trump post AI generated? Who gave Trump a membership to fucking OpenAI? Oh, I can't play the music on that. Yeah, I did see him and Elon dancing creepy thing. Ugh.
Upon it, because I really do think that Donald Trump exemplifies that motto, because his government and under his leadership the United States was always faithful to the veterans of this country, and that's something for
the
us
Twitter thing
to be proud of. His record and his vision is a vision of always being faithful to those who put on the uniform. And he didn't just talk about it. It's important, of course.
Unless you're a loser, of course. Unless you're a POW. I like soldiers who don't get captured. My favorite, you know?
Honor our veterans and to talk about their service. He also put in place real policies that really benefited the veterans who'd served in our military. And I know, look, I love the VA. I received a lot of health care at the VA, especially in the few years after I got out of the Marine Corps.
Man, imagine if everyone had access to health care. Wouldn't that be nice?
But we also know that sometimes the VA has those long backlogs, right? You spend a little bit too long on the phone. Maybe if you're trying to get a disability claim, it takes a little bit longer. Well, Donald Trump's leadership cut down on those disability backlogs.
How? What policy did that?
And when you had veterans who were unable to get health care because sometimes things were just a little too backed up, he promoted veteran choice, especially for our veterans living in rural areas. I happen to think that those who put on a uniform and serve those country, we've got to be always faithful to them. And if they need to see a doctor, we got to promote veterans' choice to give them that ability to see a doctor. Isn't it just that simple?
Is this trying to offload VA responsibilities onto the private sector? That's what this sounds like. It sounds like they're trying to gut VA stuff and just shovel it off onto the private sector.
And I think this administration that we have now, Kamala Harris and now Tim Walz has joined the ticket. And by the way, I want to say we've got a great Congressman Waltz here with a T who has not lied about his service.
Neither has Walls. Alright, that's all I can do of Vance. He really is fucking hard to listen to. How about some Newsmax bullshit?
Welcome back to America Right Now. Okay, it's...
Indignity Jones says J.D. Vance represents everyone I hated serving with in the military, willing to do or say anything for a pat on the head. Those chuds sure made it a miserable 20 years.
time for your Newsmax polling roundup on the eve of this Democrat National Convention. Let's take a look at some of the latest head-to-head numbers from Emerson. Take a look at this. This is from this week, 50 to 46, according to Emerson. Harris leading Donald Trump. Let's get some data now from a couple of the swing states. New polling also from Emerson in the critical state of Pennsylvania. Donald Trump leading by just a point. And then
Benekagami says, I'm going to say this again. Trump is hands down the most unpopular Republican president amongst the military. The Joint Chiefs of Staff hate him, and the rank and file had very mixed feelings. Yeah, it's really hard to lose some military support as a Republican, and he has done his damnedest.
Then in Michigan, a lot of folks say that between Pennsylvania and Michigan, that's the ball game there. A dead tie between the two of them. I want to dive a little deeper now into a couple of the other issues here, particularly the personal finances and the economy. We know that that's the top issue that is facing voters, the thing that they're most concerned about. Some good news here for Donald Trump. Take a look at this, 45% and...
I have no idea how people get it in their heads that Republicans are better for, like, the economy. In particular, Trump, who's promising more fucking tariffs, which are just gonna raise prices. Like, holy fucking shit. People are idiots.
When you add it to stay about the same, it's a majority, and a solid majority of Americans believe that they are going to be financially better off or about where they are if Donald Trump becomes president. Not true. Only about 25% believe that they will be financially better off if Harris becomes president. If this comes down to the economy, these two numbers here are going to be really critical to any undecided voters and how this actually all plays out going into November. All right, now it's really critical at this point in the campaign to understand how to evaluate polling data. You know, bad polls that rely on an inaccurate methodology can be dangerous, whether their construction is intentional or not. They can feed a false narrative to the public, and they can even depress turnout. So as the general election ramps up, and we have less than 3 months to go now, be aware, not all polls are created equal. Right now, you're looking...
Yeah, they're usually rated. You can go find the ratings and how accurate polls have been historically, and they get weighted in different models. Like if you're looking at like 538's model or any of the other ones, they'll generally have a grading of the polls and weigh them differently depending on their trustworthiness historically.
Polls of likely voters. Those are the voters that are going to be more accurate. Registered voters can also be fairly accurate. Stay away from those polls that say just adults. Those are the least accurate polls. So very important. When you're starting to look at these things now as we're getting into the home stretch, likely voters, really important to look at that LV or likely voter poll. The sample size and the structure are also very critical. Now, many times certain outlets will oversample Democrats as opposed to Republicans. It's very rare that that happens in reverse, and that can skew the data in favor of the Democrat. And
they poll more Democrats because there are more Democrats than Republicans in the country. It's reflective of the makeup of the country, just so you know.
Be asking yourself, what is the turnout model and how accurately does it reflect previous voter turnout? One of the other things that we've been seeing, some analysts are saying that high propensity voters are oftentimes oversampled. Now, high propensity voters tend to favor Democrats. They are being oversampled, while lower propensity voters tend to favor Trump, are undersampled. So remember, folks, when you see the numbers, don't just take them at face value. Here at Newsmax, we report on polls that have a thoroughly vetted methodology to ensure that they are more accurate than others. But as we head into Poll-Palooza of the next few months, look a little deeper. And of course, keep it right here at Newsmax.
A lot of saber.
I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where they're.
Benigami says the problem is most people don't understand the basic of economics, and Republicans speak to that stupidity. Also, since Reagan, Democrats just let Republicans dominate the economic narrative, and as a result, most voters have been brainwashed into Republican branding. Now, though, Kamala is being somewhat populist, so that'll hopefully change. We'll see. Hope so.
Is the intersection, right? So the importance of community banks is they are, as they are called, they're in the community. I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know? You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Here's the thing. Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right?
You know, Democrats want you to believe that the most unpopular vice president in history, widely panned as incompetent, is
definitely a trustworthy news source and not a propaganda outlet, by the way.
suddenly some combination of Lincoln and Einstein. And if the polls are any indication, some people are buying it. For Team Trump,
yeah, the fact that those are the worst moments they could find is hilarious because I found all of those charming. You can think she's a little goofy and silly, but those aren't necessarily bad quality.
What some have called a slump over the last few weeks is a tremendous opportunity for reinvention. And whether the former president and the campaign allow it to happen, though...
Yeah, there's another AI image. Cat Turd did this one, Trump and Kamala, and they made her like a Luciferian Soviet Union communist.
Remains to be seen. Kamala Harris is getting a clever makeover. Mr. Trump can and should use this moment to reintroduce himself to the electorate as well.
People know him. What do you mean? People know him. They know Trump already. He doesn't need to be reintroduced. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and name. Because that song is about Satan.
You know, just because the Donald Trump who charmed audiences on Oprah or once made small talk with the ladies on The View has battle scars today. Yeah, it actually happened. They used to love him.
They really didn't
mean that he can't show voters that he's so much more than a rally speech and a social media screed. Team Trump needs this charm offensive now, before the sentencing in September and the massive commercial ad buys about January 6th to come. Democrats have attacked Mr. Trump's character for nearly a decade, especially...
Man, maybe he should have a better character that's less easy to attack.
...calling him a threat to democracy.
The Republicans, led by the former president, instigated a war on American democracy.
He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
He is completely unfit because he is a real threat to democracy.
You know, they understand that choosing a president is far more of an emotional decision rather than a rational one for many people.
This isn't a problem of PR. These are things he fucking did. They're acting like it's an image issue and not an action issue.
For 8 years, he's been defined by the left as nasty, self-absorbed, unpresidential, and outright.
I think he's defined by his actions, and you don't like that he is defined by his own actions.
Right, dangerous. And let's be honest, it's worked to some degree. And the former president sometimes doesn't help his cause. Look.
No shit.
People know.
Half the time what they're doing is just playing his shit verbatim and you call it fake news.
Donald Trump stands for. They've heard the rally speeches. They've seen the combative press conferences. Campaigns are exhausting and seemingly endless in the digital era. Unlike the whistle-stop tours of years past when people heard from a candidate maybe once, today they often hear elements of the stump speech dozens of times, and it frankly gets boring. That's why long speeches and hour-long rallies don't win elections. True, they can demonstrate an air of enthusiasm, but with biased media who only show tight shots on television, the effectiveness of those massive events is diminished for Republicans. What the voters are looking for now is to be surprised. They're looking for something new and different.
Maybe you shouldn't have nominated someone who's run twice, was the president for 4 years, lost the second time, and now we're still going with this. Like, if you recognize this, why did you nominate him?
What makes a campaign
that was a bad choice
exciting is when a candidate says or does something unexpected. That's the opportunity for Mr. Trump now. How many Americans know the Donald Trump who loves music? Everything from opera to Sinatra to Metallica.
Sure, maybe he wants to take your rights away, but did you know, like a fellow human, he enjoys music?
We know Mr.
Maybe he wants to do a little bit of a purge of the federal government and install loyalists, but have you considered he enjoys a chocolate chip cookie now and again? Just like you? Is that relatable?
Trump plays golf, a lot of it. What's his secret to playing the game so many people struggle to master for decades? Believe me, I'm
Are you fucking kidding me with this shit?
one of them. Whatever happened to Grandpa Trump? I loved Grandpa Trump. We saw...
What are you talking about? Overthought says Trump's favorite Metallica album is Saint Anger.
I'm at the convention. A smiling former president, one grandchild on his lap, another on stage, telling the nation about the Donald Trump most of us have never met. The one who greets his grandkids with bear hugs and kisses, picking them up in the air and making them laugh. The one who prints out a good report card to show folks. The one who's so incredibly proud of his children. Mr. Trump has certainly articulated his understanding of the biblical underpinnings of our constitutional freedoms.
Holy shit, that's not even true!
He recently discussed his faith with Elon Musk. More interviews about that would be compelling. One of Mr. Trump's best moments from the campaign so far was when he went off script at a South Bronx rally to talk to young people about his father, about how he started his business, and the importance of hard work to
hard work and a small loan of $1 million. Just a tiny little loan of $1 million from my father. Inherited some New York real estate, you know, typical childhood.
Make it in America. It was a very powerful and personal moment. What about the Donald Trump who doesn't drink alcohol because he watched his brother lose a years-long battle with the bottle? In a time of rising drug use,
he sticks to uppers
and addiction, talking about the dangers of substance abuse would help him make a connection with both parents and young people. There have been brilliant moments on
young people love to be told about the dangers of substance abuse
campaign where he's connected with real Americans at a firehouse.
I haven't, Jay's a proxy.
A construction site, a bodega, and fast food restaurants. He needs to do more of that now. He's good at it. People are buckling under the weight of the inflation Democrats and the media claim Kamala Harris has absolutely nothing to do with.
Correct.
Mr. Trump shouldn't be campaigning in arenas. He should be campaigning in supermarket parking lots and gas stations like he's running for town council. Knock on some doors with some volunteers. Drop into some living
rooms. Gonna pull a JFK.
Rooms in suburban neighborhoods along the way as well. He should see the urban decay firsthand and talk with real people about how Democrats have abandoned minority communities. That shows relatability and leadership. Press can't ignore that. Donald Trump should treat this like Celebrity Apprentice in reverse. Earning it every day. Now's the time to not only start using Kamala Harris's own words against her, but allow the more likable, relatable side of the man that I have called the blue-collar billionaire to come through.
The blue-collar billionaire. I'm just gonna vomit for eternity in response to that statement.
The red tie and go local. Meet people where they are. Forget the national networks and talk to local press. Less of this guy and more of this guy.
They're the same man.
And watch the polls shift. The real Kamala Harris can crater her campaign, while the real Donald Trump can surprise Americans again by flipping the script and reconnecting with the American people.
Wow, that was a dog shit segment, and it was so masturbatory.
Go ahead.
Phyllis Filler says he should campaign in parking lots and near grassy knolls. Is this guy a CIA plant? Think we might be done for the day. Like I said earlier, we were going to do a patron-only stream today, but I'm not feeling very good I was at a wedding all day yesterday. It was exhausting. I'm very sore. So we're going to do the patron-only live stream tomorrow. So we will be doing a regular stream tomorrow, as well as a patron-only live stream. So that'll be fun. If you'd like to be a part of that, you can join the Patreon at patreon.com/HannahReloaded. Thanks everyone for hanging out for another MAGA Cope stream. I've had fun. Let's see who we're gonna raid. The end of costume month. So that's good. Tomorrow I get to wear regular clothing on stream. That'll be a strange situation for me. Love you too, Mr. Blast. Alright, well I will see y'all tomorrow. Who are we gonna raid? I'll raid Logan. You want Judge Hannah? Well, you better do the third costume month then, cause I'm free. I'm free, you fucks. No more costumes for me, at least for a little bit. Alright. Have a great night, everyone. Good hanging out with you. See you tomorrow. If I don't, then hopefully I'll see you soon. Kevin F7, thanks for following. Much appreciated. Alright. Night, everyone. Bye-bye.